Welcome to FSM After Dark on Franchise Sports Media. Happy Thursday night to you. It's a great night. I'm rocking it, baby. It's a great night for me. I'm gonna tell y'all why in a second. I'm gonna tell you now. Throw the dub up. The Lakers win, first of all. Okay. That's priority number. And they don't win. They play like they gave. In the words of TQ today on the Franchise Podcast, which we do every Thursday, they gave Portland barbecue chicken. The words of TQ today on the Franchise Podcast. Wow. I like my voice, but I don't like it that much. Then
thought you like that.
The Dodgers win, and they have the best record in baseball. I'm a happy man tonight. I'm a happy man today. And
you want to know how sad I am? The Knicks don't get in a top 5 pick, and the Yankees get swept by the goddamn Rays. Yeah, that's why I was napping.
Oh yeah, and
Did you expect anything else?
And the Mets and the Yankees game gets postponed because the Mets like to go out and get COVID.
They try and get that Rona all over the place.
Hey,
so Miami, you got some Rona?
So wait. This wasn't even on the script tonight, but check it out. Hey, what's up, SA? We got Autumn Wind in here, and then tonight, special guest joining us tonight. My guy, as Rich coughs up a lung, my guy, Lord Pinnacus. Wait till you see LP tonight. Wait till LP comes on and brings the heat, because this man has got a ton of sports knowledge, and he's raw and uncut, just like the show. But the thing tonight that it wasn't on the script. You brought it up, Richie. The NBA draft lottery, and somehow, some way, the Knicks don't end up with the top 3 pick. They're not feeling Melo.
And y'all ask me why I root for the Celtics. That shit right there. Because that cloud that hangs over Madison Square Garden and that dumbass owner? I'm sorry.
Hey, Kalani, I think David Stern, before he died, told Adam Silver, hey, fucker, don't ever let the Knicks be good again.
Well, I mean.
He pulled that lottery ball and it said 1 on it, and he was like, 5? Give me another 1 ball.
What has happened where, in 1985, it was a code envelope. They wanted Patrick Ewing in New York, and it was a conspiracy to where, no, they don't want the Knicks to have the number 1 overall pick now. It's the lottery, guys. It's a stupid way to determine who gets what pick, but it's a lottery. You win some, you lose some, man.
Hey, I'm just glad the Warriors didn't get the number 1 pick. Yeah, I believe. Yeah.
I think personally the Warriors are better at 2 anyway.
I do too.
First of all, go after a big man. That's where I'm at. Go after the big man.
Old boy from Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
Old boy from Memphis.
Because you know what you got with Wiggins and Curry and Thompson. Go get you a big man, develop the guy, and put him in that system.
Trade the pick. Trade the pick away. You don't need a draft pick on there. Trade the pick away.
So are you? What do you
need a big man for? Today's game does not require you to have a big man. Why do you need a big man?
So he just needs somebody to rebound.
So you get anybody for that.
Kalani, are you in the group that you trade the number 2 overall pick, one of your stars, if it's not Draymond, or maybe Wiggins, and another person to the Bucks for Giannis Antetokounmpo?
I mean, you can certainly try to make that offer, but if you ain't putting Klay Thompson on that list, don't even try calling us. If I'm Milwaukee, if his name ain't Klay on that list, don't even bother calling me if that's the case. So yeah,
you're missing Middleton.
I'm sorry, is Chris Middleton Klay Thompson? No,
missing Middleton.
Hey, bump that. Chris Middleton could miss himself for all I care. If I'm Milwaukee, if you even want to talk to me, Golden State, Klay Thompson better be the first thing you don't even tell me the number 2 pick is involved. That's already a guarantee. You better tell me Klay Thompson is number 1.
Let's be honest. His name isn't Chris Middleton. It's Miss Middleton.
That's what I was saying. Missing Middleton.
So, but look, Milwaukee's not trading Antetokounmpo. I think Green goes 1. First of all, I think he's a perfect fit for what Minnesota likes to do and what they need to go along with D'Angelo and with Cat. I think 2 is the dude from Memphis. But it gets interesting at 3, where Michael Jordan's Hornets. I almost said Bobcats. Have that pick.
He gonna mess it up. He gonna take the guy from Gonzaga, or what about the one guy from Arizona State? He gonna take that guy.
I'm gonna say it right now. He's not gonna take LeVar Ball's kid.
I didn't say that.
No. He's gonna take the dude from Dayton.
I said the dude from Gonzaga.
I know. I said the dude from Dayton though. That dude's a monster.
No. Do you know who the kid from Gonzaga is?
Yeah, he's good. I like the dude from Dayton better.
There is no fucking kid from Gonzaga. I made it up. That's why I said Arizona State next. I'm literally naming schools. He's gonna take the kid from Colorado State. He's gonna mess it up so bad. He's gonna take a kid none of us have even fucking heard of. That's what I'm trying to say here, Joe. I'm not really talking about an actual prospect.
I'm gonna stop bringing up Michael Jordan on the show because it sets Kalani off into a blind rage, because the hate flows strong within him. Okay.
He's worried about Mike Tyson.
It's all of your guys' fault. That's what,
He's gonna have to worry about Michael Jordan snuff.
Hey, I'm gonna come eat your children. I'm impeccable. My style's impetuous. I'm ferocious.
You were the way Skip is to LeBron. You are that way towards Mike.
LeBron,
maybe worse.
Yeah,
maybe worse.
Real shit. He is.
But here's the thing, though. You know why? All of you. 99% of you. It's all of you. For the last 20 years, all you guys did was discriminate on everything any basketball player ever did. He's not 6 rings, so it doesn't fucking matter. Joe, you just said it beforehand. Well, 73-9. That's still a great damn season, okay? But no. Everything someone does wasn't as good as him.
73 and 10, like Mike said at that owners meeting to what's his face, the owner Bob or whatever for the Warriors. He said 73 and 10 just has a better ring to it.
Yes,
no. There's no. Let's be real.
72 and 10 has a better ring to it. Oh, fuck him.
Or 72 and 10. I mean,
yeah,
sorry.
Let's say this, because 73 and 9 has no ring at all.
So guess what? If you want, who's got the best regular season record? If you want to beat the record, it's not 72, it's 73. So guess what? I guarantee you that Cavs team beats every single team that the Bulls ever played in the NBA Finals. Cavs team beats every team.
Finishing 73 and 9 and not winning the title is like dating the hottest chick in the world and not banging her. But your homeboy.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
Like a couple weeks less.
It's not the same.
Got them cheeks.
It's not the same. They went to
one night, first night.
They went to Game 7 of the. They went to Game 7 of the NBA Finals. You smashed. You just didn't wet her up. You smashed. You just didn't wet her up. You didn't smash the girl. They went to Game 7 of the Finals, Joe. Fuck out of here. You know what I'm talking about? You see what I'm talking about? All of you.
I'm telling you. Look, I'm of the belief personally that Kobe don't get enough respect in the greatest of all time.
100%.
You know, Kobe don't get enough respect for that, and that's not revisionist history. That's not anything personal. It's just the fact that it's fucking Kobe Bryant, and people shit on Kobe and talk about Kobe like Kobe's wasn't one of the greatest of all time. Kobe's in that Mount Rushmore of fucking the greatest players of all time. As we await our boy Lord Pinnicus joining us any minute.
I could arguably make a top 10 list, and it's not a troll list, but I could arguably make a top 10 list and doesn't have Michael Jordan in it for greatest basketball players of all time. If we're just talking basketball, we're not talking championships or whatever. We're just talking basketball. I can arguably come up with a top 10 list, and it damn near a top 12 list where Michael Jordan ain't on the list.
I think I'm having a heart attack, Joe.
You said before the show that your chest was tight. You see how I'm looking at Kalani right now, like, bro. Kalani, whatever shit you're on tonight, bro, pass that motherfucker to us, brother, because we need it. Like, Rich already taking it. He's
got that yak.
He's on that dark tonight.
Feeling good, brother. Feeling good.
Don't forget, check out all the content on franchisesportsmedia.com. Today we have the Lakers preview. We have as well as the franchise podcast of myself and TQ. And that's interesting because I kind of brought up some stuff we talked about in terms of Oscar De La Hoya. And it was needless to say, it was a very entertaining show. Nashan Zaragoza is the moderator and the host of the show with us. All right, guys. So let's stick to the NBA. And tonight's Laker game, we seen them just dominate Portland. I mean, it was utter domination. There was no, I mean, really, they're up by damn near 20 at half. Opened up to to 30, and then going into the fourth quarter, it was just continue to run. I think with 10 minutes left, LeBron and AD was on the fucking bike, riding a bike, the stationary bike, most of the fourth quarter. Kalani and I had a friendly banter about Deion Waiters not getting in until the third quarter with J.R. Smith. So, look, this is what I expected the Lakers to do coming out. Now, I understand, and I repeat what I said the other night. I had an APB out on that A seed. Anybody but Portland. That's the one team that scares me in the West, really, truly scares me in the West. But I look at the team and what they did tonight, and they ran the offense down low. And they weren't just they shot a lot of threes, and they started to hit them as the game went on. But they really got going by getting the offense started down below. And as the words of Shaq and the words of TQ they barbecue chicken.
I think what we saw tonight from Anthony Davis is what they need. And I don't mean the as much point and rebound production, but just the consistency of his production, hitting threes, driving, rebounding, high energy, all that kind of stuff. He brings that every game. LeBron plays his game that he's bringing every game. We know they're going to be hard to stop. They're going to be really hard to stop.
What it started it was AD and LeBron, and really the Lakers as a team, with those two going inside, not settling for jump shots, going inside. It's the easiest way to get your shot going from the perimeter is to get it closest to the rim. You get that going, it opens up everything else. We saw a couple guys who've been MIA the past couple games. They were able to step up their game and knock down some shots, and it was just flowing. The reason, me and Joe was having our discussion about Waiters getting in early is, I'm be honest, I was happy about this win. I was thrilled with it. Wasn't impressed whatsoever. Simply because this isn't how Portland is going to play every game the rest of the series for however long it lasts. So it's easy to run amok. Just like in the world of fighting, boxing, MMA, it's easy to look great when you can knock a guy out in 30 seconds. That's generally not how all fights are going to go. So how do you look after the 5th round? How do you look in the 8th round? When we get to the 10th, 11th, and 12th round, the championship rounds, how do you look then? That's what I wanted to see from the Lakers. And the blowout win like this, it would have made more sense to get your guys that you're not playing so much, that are struggling, get them in there so that they could build their confidence up, find their momentum, get their swing going, so that when the games are close and you got to put them in because maybe Caruso's struggling or KCP struggling, these other guys now can step in, and do what you brought them in to do. You waited until the last 6 minutes of the fourth quarter to put them in. You're not really doing them any benefit. But it was a great win, and it was a great bounce back for us. But definitely look forward to seeing how Game 3 turns out.
Well, Dame is playing Game 3. He said that, and Autumn Wynn, who works with Spectrum Sports, Gus went ahead and saying that as well. So appreciate Gus with that information. Look, the thing is this. I agree Portland's not going to play that way, but the Lakers aren't going to go – I mean, look, Portland was a 103-97 the other day, and they went 5 for 32 from 3. The Lakers – look, it took that type of shooting performance for the Lakers.
Dude, they do that. They do that more often in Portland lays a goose egg like they did today. They have bad shooting eggs from the perimeter more often than what we saw from Portland tonight.
That's true. So right now, we're going to bring in our guest, my homeboy. You can find him on Twitter at Lord Pinnacus. My boy LP. Man, long time no see, brother. How you been?
Real. Good, man. How about you, man? It has been a minute. What you been up to?
Man, working, franchising. I got Kalani and Rich with me. Yo, LP. I know how you feel about the Clippers. Okay?
That's right.
And first of all, let's explain your love-hate relationship with the Clippers. Okay.
The Clippers. All right. I've not used that one. I'm sorry. I don't want to offend nobody, but when they start playing this, okay. When they start playing everybody. Way, Yeah, I mean, I call them hoes immediately. I can tell in the first minute when they start playing like hoes. I can just see the whole game. I don't know why, but this year, but this year especially, they feel like they won everything. That's the way I see it. The way they come out, they think they can turn it on at any time. And then that's when I turn off the game. You can see me. I watch the first couple minutes. I say it's a wrap, Joe. And I'll watch He-Man or watch the Thundercats or something and just totally turn it off and just not watch it no more because I know they're not going to come back. And I don't know why it's like that so often. It's just like frustrating. I can't deal with it, man. I've watched maybe 5 full whole games this year. Whole games. Because I just know immediately that they're not playing well, so I just can't keep watching it.
So how do you feel about let's break down the Dick Rivers and your favorite player, his son. Now, Kalani, go ahead and tell LP how you feel about Austin Rivers, bro. And then
Please.
LP, I want to hear you got to call him by the name that you gave him.
No doubt.
I mean, he could ball. I mean, he ain't an all-time great, but he could ball.
You know what? When I call him Autistic Rivers. I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, it's not Austin. It's Autistic Rivers. It always has been. You know what I mean? When I watched him, come up and play, he can ball, but I'm saying, the way he came to the Clippers, and I'm like, there should be no way he should be on this team. That's why he keeps getting passed around the league. And of course, Houston needs him, but Houston, come on now. Yeah, I mean, you can look on the talent on Houston, man. They got Jeff Green. You know what I mean? So that tells you all you need to know. And Jeff Green has been on every team just strictly on potential. He was on the Clippers. If we thought he was going to come ball, he didn't show up. Cleveland, he'll give you 1 or 2 good games, and then that's it. They'll sign him for the rest of the year, and he won't show up. And that's the way Austin Rivers is to me. Well, Autistic Rivers. I just can't stand that cat. I can't stand Dick Rivers either, his dad. I'm sure that one championship has got him a lifetime pass. He doesn't adjust. He just goes strictly on his team's talent, and whatever they can take him to, that's as far as they'll go. He has nothing else to give. He doesn't adjust. There's no game plan, nothing. I can't stand Dick Rivers. I never could.
I'm with you on that one. When it comes to Doc Rivers or Dick Rivers, as he's referred to here, I'm completely with you on that one. I never understood all the love and appreciation he got. He was about to be fired. He's about to be fired in Boston. Then Kevin McHale and Danny Ainge, who are former roommates, they do a swap for each other. Then they win, and it's like, oh no, this is the greatest coach of all time. Hell no, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
That's all that I'm saying. That's all I'm trying to get people to recognize. He's a player's coach. He does this. I'm like, dude, he's terrible. I don't get why he gets so much pub or why. Like I said, when he was the GM and he was both, look at that. The team did nothing. When Coach Frank came in and he took over that responsibility, that's when they started to get a better talent pool in, and it was supposed to be less stress on him, and he could be more of the coach. He hasn't done nothing, man. That's why he's coasting this year, hoping that Kawhi and playoff Paul, whatever y'all want to call him, actually shows up and tries to win a ship this year. I don't see him winning. I know they have the talent to, but I don't see him winning it. I really don't.
Yeah, but do you notice how he's always good when he's got 2 Hall of Fame players on his team at least?
Right. Good. Exactly. Right. So he had CP3. He had, Jordan, whatever you say about Jordan. And
your boy had, Blake.
Blake. Blake Griffin, dude. He had a squad right there. He had a squad, and he just couldn't push him over the edge because he didn't know what to do. He would just think they would just come together. CP3, you take over, make me look good. I'll get the accolades, and I'll act like that it's not me, it's the team, and then we'll go from there. But it never happened. He's one of the worst coaches. I'm sorry. He really is, man. I just can't stand Dick Rivers. I really can't.
I never understood the term. This is a player's coach. I never really understood that because you never hear anyone else say, "Oh, he's a management coach," or he's a front office coach. You never hear that. I think a player's coach. What the hell else am I going to be? I'm not coaching a general manager and whatnot. I never understood that particular term. Like, I get what they're trying to say. I get that, but to me, just that wording of it, it's like, what the hell?
A player's coach, in my mind, when you're talking about him, is. Like he said, you look at the young team he had with Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, Jordan, couldn't do anything with it.
Nothing.
But a veteran team with Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett, and Paul Pierce, they won one. Well, hold on, wait. What I'm saying is, as a player's coach, I think what that is Hey, you young kids, you go out here and do whatever the heck you want. Hey, you veterans, you go out here and do what you want. And then that's where you got to see the difference in
I got you.
Who's winning.
But okay, but I disagree with that. I'm gonna tell you why. LP, you've known me a long time,
right?
And the Clippers weren't young. Chris Paul was in his 7th, 8th year. Blake Griffin was in year 3. DeAndre year 3, 4. Like they had Matt Barnes, Jamal Crawford, Chris Kaman. Oh no, not Kaman, not Kaman, not Chris Kaman. I think that was Spencer Hawes, JJ Redick. That was a veteran team.
He said Spencer Hawes.
Hey, I like Spence.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is though, they still weren't winners.
Hawes had 3s.
All those other guys won by themselves. They were all capable of. If you put the game in those guys' hands, they could win.
Wait.
Wait.
But Paul Pierce won by himself without KG. No,
they won
okay.
Games.
Chris Paul won games by himself, and I'm not a Chris Paul guy. Blake Griffin won games by himself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but they weren't any kind of a threat.
Neither was Paul Pierce until KG and Ray Allen got there. Let's be real about that.
But see, you know what though? But until they got there, but Ray Allen was more of a threat than DeAndre Jordan, and Kevin Garnett was more of a threat than Chris Paul. So when you put those two with Paul, it's almost like Doc Rivers doesn't have to come up with these elaborate schemes or these triangles or what. It's almost like, hey, look, guys, I got 2 plays in my system. You guys can know what to do. Figure it out. We already know KG's gonna be like, you ain't telling me what to do. I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to do. But with the other guys, you almost got to kind of coast them and be like this. Okay, look, Matt, don't punch nobody. Jamal, you can't dribble past the shot clock. Okay, but coach, I got handles. We all fucking know Jamal. Okay,
Lou, put the chicken wing down.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God, this is a great comment right here. Is this the Knicks or is this the Celtics fan?
This is a sports fan talking. This is the damn.
So LP, just so you know, Richie is from New York, but he's a Knicks and a Celtics fan.
That's impossible.
Have you ever tried? No, hold on. Have you ever tried rooting for the goddamn Knicks? You tell me if that's impossible.
Nah, man. I don't understand that. I'm trying to wrap up that. Nah, that's impossible, dude. I don't. No, exactly. I'm a Pittsburgh Pirates fan. That's like me going to another team. I can't do that, man. The Pirates are trash, but not getting into baseball. But I can't be a Pirates and a Phillies fan. You know what I mean? I can't. No, it just has to be one or the other.
Listen, I'd like
the
to
only
see
way it
the
works.
Knicks be good, but I'm a realist. It's never going to happen with James Dolan owning that team.
The only way it would work is if like when you were a kid, oh man, when I was a kid, John Starks, he brought me into the locker room because I said, Mr. Starks, you're my favorite player. And that's the only way you could say, no matter who else I root for, I'm always going to have love for this particular team. Other than that, you batshit crazy.
That or you grow up, like, as far as the organization, you grew up in Knicks fan, but your girl, it works for the Celtics, and I can get you there, but there's no way you can rock both, dude. It's impossible.
Nah.
Well, you grow up in New York and watch the Knicks play and lose and lose and lose and lose. And you tell me if you decide if you want to watch somebody else play basketball and they make you happy when they win.
Michael Rappaport does it. Rappaport does it. Spike Lee does it. Oh, yeah.
I hate him. Nah, I hate him.
All right, LP, go ahead and get on rap, bro. Let me see what you got to say about Rappaport.
Yeah, I mean, now, real talk. Yeah, I mean, this cat was out here. He went to Fairfax, a school out here in L.A. Yeah, I mean, and like I said, he was always, he was different in school. He wasn't all, like I said, he kind of did the little black thing, when he was in school out here. That's why he did that movie Zebrahead, because he liked a lot of, black females and stuff. And that's kind of how he kind of rose up that way out here. He wasn't a dick like he is now. Now he's like a know-it-all. He's like, I don't know, man. I just never liked that cat at all. I'm like, at any point in time, back when he was out here in school at Fairfax to where he is now, I just don't like his commentary. I just don't know. When he was doing the 3-on-3 with Cube's thing, like, dude, why to get his cat a mic? I don't know what type of credentials he has. I have no idea.
I feel like it was one of those cases where he networked with the right people to get him in there, because I never understood. Hey, when you say I'm bringing on a comedian, there's like 50 other dudes. No disrespect to him because he's done some funny stuff, but there's a lot of other people I'm gonna think of when you say comedian before I get to Michael Rappaport. And they were bringing him on as a sports fan, and I'm like, wait a minute, what the? And half the time he didn't even know what he was talking about or who he was saying. I think one time he was talking about the Cavs and the Warriors, and he was talking about Mark Price and Tim Hardaway going at it in that matchup. It's like, dude, that's wrong generation. Right. So,
but he ain't even that old. That's what I'm saying. It ain't like he's like some 70-year-old cat. Yeah, man, I think he's like in his late 40s or something like that, maybe 50s. But how can he be that out of touch and know what's going on? He also hating on Porzingis too. I remember that. That was funny.
Look, I'm gonna be real. I guess I'm the only person that likes Rappaport on the show. I do. I like him, man. I'm gonna tell you why. I do. Because he's one of the few people that will speak his mind and say, "Fuck it, I'm unapologetic about it." A lot of these cats nowadays. No, yeah, exactly. And I respect that, because even some people that can won't and don't. They hide behind whatever it is. He's like, hey, fuck it. And look at how he goes after people. Look, I'd like to get into politics. Look how he goes after Trump. He calls him Dick Stain. Look at how he goes after racist motherfuckers. Like he goes, he you know where he stands. But a lot of people don't do it though.
It's easy to go after President Trump. That's very easy in this climate, and it's very easy to go after racists. Yeah, think about it. Michael Rappaport don't got nothing to lose. What's he got to lose? It's not like he's got to worry about doing big time movies anymore. It's not like he's got a TV show. So it's easy for him to go after people and say the crazy shit, because I don't got nothing to lose. I'm the eighth guy in the credits, maybe, if it's a B-rated movie that you're going to see. So what you gonna take from me
with
if I
3
say
minutes
too crazy?
screen time?
Yeah. Look here. I guess the Cucamonga cracker killers ain't paying that much, huh?
That was funny as hell.
I was watching the draft. How did y'all get eighth, man? Why do they hate y'all so much to give y'all eighth, man? Talk to me about how do y'all get the eighth lottery pick? How?
This goes back to my point earlier that it just nothing ever works out. It's just pathetic. And then the one shining light you kind of had in Porzingis, they made the guy so mad they made him leave town.
Yeah, they did.
I'm happy. Listen, I'm happy as hell for Porzingis, because look, I am a Porzingis fan. I got his jersey right there. I like the dude. I really do. I'm so happy he is playing with this guy, with Doncic, because two of those dudes together, it's just exciting. They were friends, all that kind of stuff, and that's my sleeper team too.
Well, hey, I think the Clippers are in serious trouble.
Serious?
The Mavericks. Oh yeah, I think. Look, LP, you know this as well as I do. If they don't give that bullshit second technical to Porzingis, they were running the Clippers. Okay, they were running the Clippers, and look at last game. They still put it on them. Yeah, they eased up in the fourth and made it somewhat tight, but they still beat them. No, and look, I said this from the beginning, and I agree with everything you said when you talked about the Clippers having a false sense of entitlement that they won something, and how some of them should be looked upon or whatever. I'm gonna tell you like this: I agree 100%, and that starts at the top with Doc Rivers, and that's how that Clipper team was in the past with Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan. I'm in the locker room with them. LP, you know this, and we seen it firsthand. Like, yo, this is what it is. So they have that false, and that's a Doc Rivers trait, and that's the reason why this Clippers team, like I said, talk to me when they get out the first round of the playoffs for the first time in franchise history.
Rick Carlisle is a better coach
than Doc. Yeah, he is,
and that's who I am taking as my, like I said, my sleeper team. I got the Mavs running it all the way because I think with their matchups, they can give everybody fits. Like I said, I know everybody's gonna look at me crazy. That's who I'm taking. I said it last time. When they beat the Heat, I told everybody before that started the Mavs were going to win. Everybody said I was crazy, which, yeah, I could see that. But one solid thing, matchups, and they had a deeper bench.
Yeah, the bench
way
is solid,
deeper
though.
bench.
I did see that, right. The bench is solid.
One thing about the teams in the league right now, like as much talent as the Clippers have, and as great as LeBron is, and as good as AD is, there's not really a dominant team like we've had in the past couple of years with the Warriors, where it's like, well, we're all playing for second and third place. There's not really that team this year. So when you say the Mavericks could run the table, it very much could be the case, because that boy Luka damn sure ain't no normal second-year player. I'll tell you that.
No,
I agree. That's why I said I wasn't hating on your pick.
What happened?
Did you see that? The 70 points in the first 2 games, breaking Kareem's record?
No, I didn't see that. Really?
Yeah. He did that.
He's different, man. I got to meet him. That's actually how I got that signed. I got to meet him his rookie year in Charlotte at a Foot Locker.
Well,
see, that's something where going forward, you're a fan of him and his team for all time. That's something you go with. You don't say, "Hey, did you ever see that the team never won? I had to pick some." No. That's a story you tell somebody.
See, and here's the thing about your Knicks and Porzingis. He wanted to leave New York so bad he went down to fucking Dallas, Texas.
Yeah, man. Nobody go to Dallas. Not free agents.
Not unless Jerry's signing them.
Nah, real talk.
and I think a lot of that had to do with he wanted to play with his buddy too.
And Jerry brings the hookers and blow for that. So
I think,
he's cool with that. But you're right though, and I think in this climate right here, I think anyone could just go ahead and ball out, you know. And I'm just hoping that the Clippers can really show up. Yeah, I mean, and everyone use that excuse, oh, they haven't played as a team yet. They got to, play more games. I'm like, man, fuck that, dude. You got solid pros on that team. Quit playing. Yeah, I mean, Doc Rivers, stop bringing Lou Williams in as the third scorer. You have Paul George and Kawhi. You don't need him in. That's what's killing me. Like, dude, what are you doing? Yeah, I mean, if those guys can't score, then there's no need for you to bring Lou Williams to the game. You're not going to win the game. That's why he said, he's going to get outcoached. And I'm saying for Luka, he just comes in the paint. Why does no one knock him on his ass, dude? I don't understand that. I don't understand. He just come in the paint with layups. I know you're a big, thick, solid cat. When you give him a check or a hard foul, man, maybe he'll pull up with those jumpers. And I don't see nobody doing that, and I don't know why, dude. I really
don't. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. How long before Luka starts getting criticized like a certain player in 2003, 2004, similar body structure, came in dominating when he was young? How long before Luka starts getting that criticism? Or because he looks a little different, he's going to get praised?
I think his personality is going to override that. Yeah, I mean, because people generally like that cat. Yeah, I mean, he's doing all the right things. You said what?
Said he is humble.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. So, and right now, nobody can knock him on anything. And he's doing all the right things, not doing it intentionally, not to get criticism. But he seemed like he just want to ball, man. He just got that mentality. You put me anywhere near basketball, I'm just going to ball.
That's because he can't speak no English yet.
No, dude. Come on, really?
He can speak English. Hey, but here's the thing. No, I think LP's onto something. I think, I know LeBron's humble, but also I think the thing that everybody overlooks, and it's not a criticism of LeBron, but he exceeded all expectations. I mean, if you really think about it, 17 years old, cover Sports Illustrated, the chosen one, and he exceeded every expectation ever set forth, and now the needle and the bar changes, and they're going to look for someone to criticize. America loves to build somebody up, but they quickly love to tear somebody down as well, especially your superstars.
Right.
Yeah, but that's why they love people so much, is so they could love them to get them to that point to push them off the mountain.
But they did that. They did that with Kobe. They did that with everybody. Kobe was that guy, and all of a sudden Kobe's an asshole and Kobe's a dick. And now that when Kobe retired and now that Kobe's gone, it's Kobe's. Such a great don't get off his. If you weren't riding with him before, get off his dick now.
Y'all know when y'all know when all this started, right? Y'all know when all that started, right?
When
1998, when never mind. It started in 1998 when the biggest offensive foul in history that never got called. When that happened, when he left. Everyone else, look, we've never played basketball since. The NBA has never had an official game since 1998 because 23 hasn't been playing.
Kalani is the biggest Jordan hater on 2 feet.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know anyone hated Jordan except Pistons and shit like that.
LP, my reason is very simple. For the last 20 years, I've been told everything every player does is no good because Jordan did it much better. Then I watched that bullshit documentary where they lied to us, telling us that other players on the team made big shots, that other players played defense. No, I thought Jordan guarded all 5 positions. I thought he played 1-on-5 and still got 10 assists. I thought he made every game-winning shot because in today's athletes, that's how they get criticized. So I was very disappointed when I saw all these lies. So I'm just confused at what to believe here. Help me, man. Help me.
Plymouth Rock didn't land on us, right? We landed on Plymouth Rock, right?
You were so hyped right now.
Oh, dude, I can see the hate. You got it, dude.
Oh. Hey, man, look, LP. One of my biggest criticism about the Clippers is about Patrick Beverly. I think he's I think he's a bitch. Like, there's no other way I can put it. He's fucking bitch made.
He's annoying.
He's that dude at school. We're not like, what up, cut, and all of a sudden turn around and run behind the principal like, hey, he's picking on me. He's picking on me. He's that dude.
I think niggas hate more. They hate Pat Bev than they hate more than Green from the Warriors. I think that.
Yeah.
And I hate Draymond. But I think people hate Pat Bev more than they hate Draymond Green, and that's pretty hard to do, you know. And I don't have no beef with. He's annoying. That is real. He is real mad annoying. But damn, dude, you hate that cat that much,
bro? Yeah, I'm not like honestly. I wish he was on the Celtics so I can hate him even more, or the Rock. Because I hated him on the Rockets, but I wish he was on the Celtics so I can hate him even more, bro. Like
he is the type of dude that you would want him until he's on your team. He just worthless overall or overrated. Which one is it?
See, for instance, Matt Barnes. I respected Matt Barnes' game with everywhere that he went. So when he came to the Lakers, I was like, yeah, he's a real one. And then Pat Beverly's that dude. If he was on a team, I'd be like, look at Pat Beverly to me. I view him in the same way I view Sasha stupid bitch. Sasha Vujacic.
Wow.
Yeah, he's that guy to me.
Wow.
He's what's the point guard's name down in Miami? The only one that could go left. That came
Dragic?
from. Yeah, Dragic. Dragic. Yeah, him. Yeah, Dragic, that dude. Like
he was almost a Laker too.
I'm glad he wasn't. I'm glad it never happened. You know what I'm saying? That's
with the point guard we got, I'll take Dragic right now. With the point guard we got.
No, man, you guys getting Rondo back on Saturday, man. Be back Saturday.
See, breaking news from LP.
Then I'm good.
I'll take an actual dragon at point guard.
I'll take a kimono dragon.
I'll take one of the dragons from Game of Thrones if that's the damn thing.
Hey, I sit up and I'll call Khaleesi up like, hey, bitch, and give me somebody to run the point, bitch. Like,
I don't know, man. That bitch gonna try to burn Staples Center down if we don't all take a knee for her.
Oh, dude, nah, too close to home, baby. Too close to home, nah.
Hey, we gotta let her know. We're not taking a knee for you, girl. She's like, no, we're not. It's different. It's different. Now, you know what, though? I would go with I dislike Draymond Green more than Pat simply because, unfortunately, until Pat's career is over, Draymond might fuck around and end up being a Hall of Famer simply because the Splash Brothers and what they did. That's what pisses me off even more. This son of a bitch is going to get accolades he does not deserve whatsoever. At least for Pat Bev, I could be like, you know what? Low draft pick. You had to bounce around. You had to sit and grind your way here. I can get that. You know what I'm saying? I get that. For Draymond, though, Draymond acting like, nah, man, I'm better than Charles Barkley. I'm better than Chris Webber. What the fuck are you talking about?
I agree. I agree. I don't know what it is. That cat, they both talk so much, but this Draymond just won't shut up, man. He just don't know, dude, you aren't that dope. You know what I mean? You're cool. Yeah. You know, you a cool 8-5 guy, cool 8-8 guy, man. But, you know, Kenyon Martin did that. Yeah, I mean, a lot of cats have done what you've done. They just not been on successful teams. Quit playing.
Exactly. Exactly. And I think his trash talking comes from more of a kind of like what Joe was saying. Like I'm trying to poke you. I'm trying to irritate you. Draymond really believes the shit he's saying. Like
that's real. You're right.
Okay, so Patrick Beverly, we had somebody on the other day. I'm not going to say his name. If you watch the show, you guys can go back and look at the first episode. Patrick Beverly was talking shit to him, and they almost squared up in the Clipper locker room.
What?
Yeah. Now, Nick Hamilton is not a dude. Nick's a cool dude. Nick is as cool as they come. You see him, Nick is very respected, deep voice. Like, I'm just cool. I'm just going to do my job. You know, I'm trying to build my brand. And he was popping off at him to the point where Nick was like, yo, like, bro, like, you're not going to talk to me. Like, we can go out to the hallway or go down the tunnel if you want to do that. You know what I mean?
Like, there's some dudes who's about that life, man. There's some dudes who, despite being a good athlete, hey, brother, I'm a man before I was here. Just like Melo. Oh, you want to say Honey Nut Cheerios? Meet me at the bus stand.
Dude, you brought that up. Oh, dude, I got to tap out. You can't bring that up, dude. Oh, I'm tapping out. That's hilarious. Oh, dude, that's classic.
Well,
LP.
I'm saying there's some guys who are like that. Kind of like if you guys remember when the Lakers and Clippers, when Rick Fox and Doug Christie got into it.
That was the Kings.
The Kings. I mean, despite how Rick Fox may look and Christie being a role player, them dudes was like, yo, we don't give a fuck. We about it. We'll meet in the hallway and get it. So there's some dudes who about it, and there's some dudes who just talk about it. I like Draymond Green.
But see, but
trying to get there.
But Doug Christie had an ace up his sleeve. He had Jackie Christie jump down and try to fight too.
He was a G. He was a G. She was like, hey,
right.
But Rick Fox had the ultimate domino. A motherfucker that was 6'2", 340 pounds, talking about I pushed the whole team back, and you know y'all gonna touch me.
Right. So you right. It's just like Pat Bev. It's like I wish he would just stop sometime. Like you got to shut up, dude. Just back off, humble yourself up. Just go play some ball. We know a couple years ago he was about playing that defense. He didn't talk as much. But everyone hated the Clippers because they always whine to the refs and all the shit like that. So he came in. So if you hated him 50%, you gave him another 20% because he was on the Clippers. And then since he amped up his little antics and shit, it's more like 80 to 100% now the fool's hating. So I get you. He's not doing what he's doing to justify him being, a stopper and shit like that no more. That was a couple years ago. Now he is annoying. And I wish he would shut up half the time and just ball, but he's not doing that. But I can see why cats really hate that dude, man. But as soon as his face comes on the screen or they show him, my tweets, my timelines is filled with just killing that nigga. They just destroying, Pat Bev.
He looks like a dude in a movie that plays a homeless dude. Like he looked like an extra from Power. Like if you look at it, you remember when Kendrick played the dude
whatever that was.
Yeah. That looked like Pat Beverly right now. The way he's looking, bro. Like
Joe basically said Pat looked dirty.
Everyone says that. They said he's dirty, bad breath.
To me, Pat Beverly is the guy that you put in at the very end of the game when you're trying to get that last stop with 3 seconds left because he's just out there doing this shit in your face. Like that's what he's there for. Yeah.
It's hard to judge it now because we got to see how everything plays out. But just off the personalities of the team, it looks like Kawhi would have fit much better with the Lakers than he does with the Clippers. Because when you look at a lot of that team, he does not fit what that roster is about. When he was up in Toronto for that year, they almost took his type of personality and they've carried it on to this year. He don't fit with none of the Clippers, so I do wonder if he's going to stay there for his full contract or if he's going to be like, unless we're winning titles, I'm not trying to be here the whole time because y'all motherfuckers on some bullshit.
But where else he going to go, though, man? Because if they talking Giannis going to bounce, in a year or so because,
He can go across the hallway. He can go across the hallway. Just say, hey guys, I'm sorry, I should have did it. Y'all should have told Magic Johnson to shut the fuck up on Twitter, and I would have signed with y'all. Would y'all take me? Please take me.
Nah, New Balance won't let him leave. His deal with New Balance, what he has hidden in those shoe clauses, it's crazy money. They're like that's part of the reason why.
You think it matter what's me on?
No, it's in the clause. Yes, and for Los Angeles, what New Balance will do, yes, it matters. They didn't have anybody in the major market, and he's not going to go. And he's not going to go to the Knicks. So he's home, and he's not.
He can go to Philly. He can go to Chicago. He can go to any one of those. Dude, I promise. Joe, I'm not doubting you because I know you know a lot of inside stuff. I'm not doubting you. But what I'm saying is, let's say if they don't win this year and next year they come up short, first round exit. Let's just say that. If the Clippers try to trade him, and they can find a decent trade package, that trade
Miami.
I'm not
Jimmy Butler.
Miami would be a good trade.
Miami
I'm just saying nuts. That trade's going to happen. So I understand you got your insiders. I get that, and I understand it's within the contract. But if they want to make that move, he's not going to be stuck in LA with the Clippers simply because New Balance of all fucking shoe companies, New Balance said no. If that was Nike, okay. Yeah, you ain't going nowhere. But New Balance, we good.
I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you what I know. I'm just telling you what I know, bro.
Hey, look, there's a lot of people in Florida that wear New Balance shoes, so it might be better if he was there anyway.
No, you're killing me, dude.
this stuff right here, boy. This stuff right here.
LP, he's on that dark tonight, so he already
know. Man, this second blows are ridiculous, man. That's hilarious.
Yo, LP, so like what people don't know about you and I know this because we've had discussions. You're a big cartoon head, like big time, like, so we go back and forth on Twitter at times talking about old school 80s cartoons like the G.I. Joe that's on what channel was it on? We were just talking about it a couple months ago.
It was on whatchamacallit, like a Pluto or some shit like that.
Yeah, it was on Pluto. That's what it was. Yeah, it was on Pluto. Like, so what are you on now? What's your favorite all-time cartoon though?
Damn, dude, favorite all time. You know what? I like I said, you go look at my Twitter, Battle of the Planets, man. G-Force. That's probably the shit right there, dude. I can't get enough of Battle of the Planets. That shit's dope. Fucking Transformers, second generation, not when they on Earth, when they go back to outer space. I know I'm sounding like a nerd. Don't laugh at me and shit, but like I said, I'm peeping the Thundercats right now. Man,
Thundercats.
Yeah, real dude. Not the fake new shit they got right now, like
the old school 80s.
Exactly, dude. Yeah. Real talk. I'm not sure if y'all cats know. I was watching Giant Robot earlier with Johnny Sacco. I mean, that ain't a cartoon, but that's some old school shit. If y'all know.
That's what Gus just said. Said Giant Robot. That's what he just said.
That was my shit right there, dude. I was just that's it, man. Old school cartoons. Like I said, they get some new ones out right now and shit, but the old school shit is ridiculous. Batman the animated series.
Hey, wait. Can you see my screen? Like, can you see me right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so you said Batman the animated series, right?
Yeah.
That's my favorite of all time. I got to meet Kevin Conroy and Tara Strong and got them to sign the #1 Harley Quinn comic. I have that signed. All right. You see my screen?
I see it. I'm peeping. Oh, shit.
Damn.
That's
badass.
Crazy. That really is. Dude.
That's badass.
All right.
So I have the Joker, the bat signal in the background, Harley, the bang gun, the hyena, the Joker fish. Yeah, I'm a huge fan. I'm actually getting Bane done on the inside of my arm in here.
Shit.
I'm tying it all together. But yeah, you talk about comics. That's my favorite one. And when I met Tara Strong in person, she grabbed my arm and was looking at it. And she started talking to me in Harley's voice. And I was like, oh, I got to go to the bathroom.
Dude. That had to be
gotta change my pants.
Yeah, I'll be back.
I'm gonna pull a Joe right here. So I knew a guy that they created the Batman animated series. Okay, we used to have lunch every Thursday. Okay, it was fantastic. Okay, you go to the fish, I get the ribs. It was fantastic. Okay, so I just want to tell y'all.
Oh, yo.
Hey, so like what I actually old school G.I. Joe. What I was into though a lot as a kid was Mask. You remember Mask?
Dude, bro, yes.
I thought that was a dope ass.
The theme song is hilarious. Yeah.
But,
I had no beef with Mask.
And the best theme song of all time is Hong Kong Phooey.
Yeah.
I have no beef with number one. You know, so I have no beef. But that can't be #1, dude.
And Samurai Jack is really, really close.
Samurai Jack is ridiculous. Oh, dude, that's ridiculous. That Samurai Jack is dope. My motherfucking brother, rest in peace, he put me on Samurai Jack. That shit used to come on like, Cartoon Network, like 1 a.m. or some shit like that when it first came out. And then all of a sudden, fools caught on
Samurai
to
Jack.
If you guys get a chance, look up the dude that voices Samurai Jack.
That's what's his name? Is it that black dude, right?
Yup. Look him up. He is one of the greatest voice actors of our generation. The dude has voiced like when you look up and you start seeing some of the people he's done, you're gonna be like, holy shit.
When you seen him, he was on all these little odd TV shows and shit. I forget it. I think Lamar Jackson or something. Something
like that. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Unreal.
It's amazing with those voice actors because some of it is just subtle changes that they make for certain voices, but it sounds dramatically different. But it's like instead, maybe I try to close my left side when I'm doing this voice, but I close the right one when it's this, and it's like something that small, you sound completely different, and it's absolutely amazing, especially when they're doing interviews and you can see them do it. Man,
it's Phil Lamar. And he's the guy from Mad TV. Like, hey,
yeah.
Hey, you want a soda? Yeah.
He's voiced like 100 people, but Tara Strong, that did Harley Quinn in the animated series for Batman, she's voiced Timmy Turner, one of the Powerpuff Girls, one of the Fairly Odd Parents,
So the Nickelodeon joints.
something with My Little Pony. She's done Batgirl.
So what do you think about the new one? It's not new because my older kids would watch it, and I still dig it. But Mordecai and Rigby, the regular show.
I had no beef with that. That was solid. I have no beef with that. That's a good show. I watched that when it first came on. I used to be like, Then my kids watching one day. I'm like, this shit's pretty funny. Y'all niggas don't understand what's going on, but it's pretty funny. So, I started watching it.
Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty is one of the best shows out right now.
Yeah.
Dude, man, my kids watch it. I know I'm fucking up, man, but when it first came out, I'm talking first came out, man. I was watching it and my wife is looking at me like, nigga, I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. I can't turn it off because, I don't want to miss it. We do have DVR. And they start watching it and I come home from work. They got it on while she's in there cooking. I'm like, I'm sorry. Now they watching on their own when she's asleep or something. They know how to DVR it. They got it. Because I watch Beavis and Butthead. So that's where they get it from. So Beavis and Butthead, South Park, it's just an all translation to this. Ren and Stimpy. So it's just an evolution to this crazy shit we watching right now. I know she mad at me. And the only thing is I'm thankful for is that they don't cuss, and they don't say all the other weird shit. And only one time that they called me a nigga, but that was a long time ago. So that's it. Because they was watching Boondocks.
I was just about to say. That sounds like because they was watching the Boondocks. That's why they said that.
There you go. Exactly.
Supposedly they're bringing that back.
Why you saying so much? Did you watch this? Is that why you said so much? Nah, they get. Nah, son.
Exactly. Freaking Hey, do either one of y'all ever give Archer a chance at all?
I love Archer.
I've not, man. I've not peeped it. Maybe I should, because I know I got it for a person one time for like a birthday gift, and she loved it. You got to watch it. Yeah, we'll watch it together. That never happened, so I got to try it one time.
You will die.
I definitely think, man, you'll definitely enjoy it. It is absolutely hilarious what they do. Considering all the other ones you just named, that's something right there.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I love that show. That's one of my favorites. Anybody else smell toast?
Not gonna watch.
What about BoJack? What about BoJack?
Oh, yeah.
Nah, I never watched. That's on Cartoon Network, right? No, it's on Comedy Central, right?
Comedy Central, yeah.
Yeah. Nah, I've seen it, but I never peeped it.
That's Daniel Tosh, isn't it?
No, Will Arnett.
Okay. Which one's Daniel Tosh have? He has like some
Brickleberry, but they got rid of that show.
I like
that one. That was great.
That one was hilarious.
I didn't see that one either.
Is that the one with the bear?
Yep. That one was funny as shit.
Damn, you know what? I gotta go through the archives now.
I tried watching it. The first episode, I just couldn't get into it.
No, you gotta get through a couple.
My homeboy kept saying, "Dude, you gotta watch it. You're gonna like it with your sense of humor. You're gonna like it." First episode, I'm like, but see, that's the thing. I didn't know Daniel Tosh was involved. Had I known, I'd have gave it like 4 or 5 episodes before I bailed.
You got to give it like 2 or 3 before, because you got to. It's like any of the other shows. You got to start to build the characters where you're watching them and you're like, oh, they're gonna do this.
Man, I knew I was gonna love the Boondocks in the first 20 seconds when Grandpa was doing Billy Blanks' Tybo butt naked.
Dude, that was hilarious, dude. That was it.
Right.
Yeah, that
Actually, Autumn just posted it. Family Guy is up there. And I have to say, Futurama is up there with Family Guy. Bender is the man.
Futurama is the shit, man.
Yeah,
that's the shit. But I'm sorry. I'm American Dad over Family Guy. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. American Dad is hilarious.
It's a good show. Roger's great.
Okay, so
none of us brought up The Simpsons.
Oh no, that's all time.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah,
that's not even supposed to be mentioned.
Exactly right. That's like fucking when it comes to hip hop and Rakim. You can't. There's no need. It's already right there. Yeah, you don't need to mention it. Mention everybody else.
So okay. So we talk about shit that's dope. But what about the lamest, the least favorite, the worst cartoon you watch?
Bob's Burgers, man. I can't watch Bob's Burgers. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I don't know what it is. Everyone else around me at work, you watch Bob's Burgers? I'm like, nah. That show was so funny. I'm like, I've not watched one episode. I can't do it. I don't know what it is. maybe it's me, but I've not watched one episode of it. I just see little clips, and I said I can't do it. I can't watch Bob's Burgers.
What do you got, Richie?
I'm not against Bob's Burgers, but yeah, there's definitely episodes where it's not like all the other shows we mentioned where you're laughing the whole show and there's constantly stuff going on. But no, there's a lot of stuff that they just like barrel through Adult Swim that drives me insane.
Oh,
like
dude.
just these stupid shows late at night that are just dumb. There's one they had the other day, and I'm like, if you were a kid and you woke up in the middle of the night watching this, you'd have night terrors for the rest of your life.
I forgot. I know which one you're talking about. So I was like, "What is this shit, man?" Like,
yeah, I can't even think of the name, but I clicked on it and I was like, "What the fuck? Nope." What else?
Exactly.
Sports Center.
I'm like, I know what you're talking about too. The only wild show on Adult Swim that was on some crazy shit that I love is Metalocalypse. I'm not sure if y'all heard of that.
Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah,
My Hero Academia was pretty good too.
Yeah, but that one still comes on. But that's like the anime shit on the weekends and shit. But you're right. You turn on sometimes they either got some shit called Decker or some other weird like shit. Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck is going? What is
the
that?
John? What's it? Thoughts with that one weird dude with the glasses. I'm like, dude, who the fuck is watching this show?
Yeah, really. And they bringing it back for a second and third season. Like, how are y'all paying them to do this?
Aqua Teen, that's a good show.
Dude, that's right there. I can look at the box right now, dude. That's my shit too.
I'm gonna tell you the one I got on a couple years ago. I think it's going into its third season, but Big Mouth.
Oh my god, bro!
That's the shit.
Big Mouth is so dope.
LP,
my dude.
LP, it's okay.
I'm sleeping.
Okay, LP. Do you remember the show The League?
Yeah. Oh, that was the shit.
Okay, Nick Kroll, the dude with the glasses, Rodney Rushing. It's his voices and it's his show, and he voices a ton of shit. I mean,
like 8 characters.
It's all about growing up in puberty and chkids trying to fuck and not being able to fuck and little dicks and puberty monsters.
What channel is this on?
And fucking
Netflix. It's Netflix.
Oh, okay then, no doubt.
Bro, you will die. This show is hilarious. I told my boss to watch it at my old job, and I was like, bro, if you watch it, though, make sure your fucking wife and kids ain't around. Like, really? No. That's some shit. I'm telling you right now, do not put that shit while your kids are around. Your wife will castrate your ass.
Straight up.
I wanted to change our dog's name to Feature and Ludacris, but she was like, nah, it's already been 4 years old. We can't switch it now.
Like, just to give you a for instance, there's a character in the show that's a imaginary character that comes around in the kid's head, and he's got a briefcase full of fuzzy dicks. That's how crazy the show gets.
They got a kid on there.
I'm definitely gonna peep it.
They have a kid on there who gives you a blueprint on how to fuck a pillow.
That's impossible.
Yeah.
Oh no, the way he breaks it down, that kid's a fucking genius.
Yeah.
Myra, I think we're saying Myra Rudolph. Is that her name? She's in it too.
Yeah, she's in it. They got quite a few good. They got quite a few good comedians who come in there and
Jordan Peele
and do it too. Jordan Peele's in there.
He's one of the directors, isn't he?
Oh, that's solid.
Jordan Peele, I think it's a director or producer or something.
Something. It is one of the LP. I'm surprised because you're like my cartoon guy. This one shocks me, brother.
Yeah, man. You both. Usually, if it's something disturbing or odd or some shit like that, I'm on it, or I can at least kind of give some reference to it. I've totally slept on this. Damn. Big Mouth.
And F is for family.
Yeah.
Fucking love that show, man. Bill Burr.
That was my childhood, dude. That was my dad. The one
think that was a lot of them.
Where he goes, I'm going to put you through a fucking wall. And the kid's like, we're outside. He goes, I will go to the store and build a wall to put you through it. That was my father, bro. Straight up. That's my dad. Like, I will build a wall to put your fucking ass through it.
My father. All right.
My dad's old school Italian guy, too.
My old school black man guy. Same shit, too.
Same shit.
I'm telling you, man, we all of a certain age, all of our dads was like that, okay? Exactly. All of our dads was like that.
Relatable.
Like go outside. I remember fighting one time. I got handled. I came in a house. I think it was like, I don't know why you're inside. The boy's still out there. The only person is not you. Get the fuck back out there. My mom was right there. Clearly let the nigga do it. I go out there, got handled twice, and just waited outside till everybody left, and then I go in the house. That nigga, I didn't understand it. He told me to go back outside and fight. I was totally confused. Like, did you look at my shirt? It's ripped up, nigga. You got to pay me for a new one. But you want me to go back? All right. I was in. Old school, dude. I didn't get it. I get it now, but back then that shit was terrible.
It was horrible because you was like, I can't physically beat him. Well, you better figure it out.
I can't beat him. I can't do it. I don't know. There's just stones around. That nigga seems to be quicker. There's dirt, but I can't get enough of it. You know what I mean, there's just too many obstacles. I can't win.
LP was like, did he hit me twice? Did he just hit me twice? Well, there must be a lot of them out here. They must be
look at my shirt, nigga. I got a list now. How do I got a list at 8 years old, nigga, from getting socked in the mouth? You can't get a list by getting socked, nigga, but I got one. You know I'm saying.
That nigga hit me so hard, I got a list.
Exactly.
Which one of y'all hit me?
Exactly, right? Oh, shit. Now, see, y'all got me reliving this shit. I'm burned out now.
LP, we know you mentioned you're a Pirates fan, but you're
everything
also
Pittsburgh.
But you're also a Steelers fan, man.
That's an understatement, man.
So I know how you feel. I want you to let them know how you feel about like the whole Roethlisberger, AB, Tom. I know your favorite person is Mike Tomlin.
Man, I'm telling you, man. If y'all just know, man, I really hate that dude, man. I know, like I said, that man, y'all just don't get it. I'm talking about since the day he was hired. I'm like, he's not our coach. You're saying that because he's black. I'm on Twitter. I'm like, look at my profile. That has nothing to do with it. You know what I mean? This is my face. There ain't no fucking Steeler emoji. That's me. I do not like Tomlin. Tomlin is a coordinator at best. He's not a coach. He's just, man, you have no idea. If y'all could just look at my timeline when it's football season, I'm like, dude, he's the best coach. He has the best winning percentage. I'm like, he hasn't lost in like ever. I'm like, dude, going 8-8, 5 years in a row, of course you ain't gonna fucking lose. Yeah, I mean, he's a terrible coach, man. We had Bell, Roethlisberger, and AB, and man, what did we do? We didn't get out the first round. We didn't win a game. Last championship we had was back in 2000? I forgot 2009 against Seattle. We won like 17-13 or something. I'm like, dude, this cat's terrible. This talent and this money we giving him, there's no way we should be this bad. You know, now this year everybody's like, oh yeah, Roethlisberger's back. I love Roethlisberger. He cool. I know everybody gonna call him Rapisberger and all this shit like that. And I argue with cats on Twitter all the time. You know what I mean? But AB, that really disappointed me, man. How he went out. That fucked with me, dude.
Yeah, that wasn't right. I mean, I really felt, and you look at it, one of these guys that's in here now or last night brought it up about how he would have been the first guy to have X amount of 1,500 receiving yard seasons and all this other stuff. He imploded on himself, AB. I'm happy to see that he's kind of coming back up the ladder again. And I think a lot of that credit to Deion Sanders, who I love.
Oh, really?
Deion spent a lot of time with AB. I follow Deion on social media, and he spent a lot of time with AB. And Deion's a good old God-fearing man.
Yeah.
And he really got through to AB and like made him come out to his ranch, spent a bunch of time with him. And AB really calmed down on social media after that and seemed to mature a lot. And I think he realized too, like, you kicked a gift horse in the mouth, bro.
That's
like
an understatement, man.
you screwed that up. Like, you got to eat that. And I think he knows that now.
I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen with Antonio Brown. Let me tell you right now. It's going to get to be about week 6 of the NFL season. And all of a sudden, it's going to be Antonio Brown's going to sign somewhere. Antonio Brown's going to end up somewhere. He's going to sign a 2-year deal to play for the Green Bay Packers. Watch.
The Packers?
They don't have another receiver outside of Devontae Adams. He can play with Aaron Rodgers and play for a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but you think the safe Packers are going to take a chance on Antonio Brown?
Safe Packers, Za'Darius Smith, Rashad Gary, and somebody else last year, one of the D tackles, got pulled over on the way back from Chicago, and they were smoking a blunt in the car.
Yeah, but they didn't go on social media and make a rant on live in front of the police and their children.
Look at. I think it's a safe signing because he's not going to act a fool because he's got money on the line.
Literally,
and literally name the one market that will support you 100% no matter what.
I trust Antonio Brown. Do these general managers trust Antonio Brown?
I don't trust.
My question.
I'll trust him on the field. I don't trust him out of my facility.
right?
It's real shit. I don't want to see him in a Drake video dancing and shit. You know what I'm saying? At his
I
house.
don't be rapping nothing.
I don't want to hear none of that.
No.
I don't want to see none of that. I want to, but I think that could be a very real possibility because of where he is currently. I mean,
No, and I agree with that. And I think Aaron Rodgers would probably pass out if he saw that come across the feed on his phone that the Packers signed Antonio Brown. You'd hear a thud in his house.
Right.
Because you'd be like, oh my God, I got somebody to throw the ball to.
Literally,
Wow.
exactly. It'll be scary. It'll be worth it. I would love to see that. Like I said, 6 games. He's 6 games. That's fine. I'm glad they got all out the way, and he's still in good shape.
well, he's got 8 games, but I'm saying by like week 6.
Oh, he got 8 games. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he got half
Yep.
a season. Yeah, but by week 6, you can start working some things out. So that way, okay, 2 weeks into it, boom. You know what I'm saying?
He'll get picked. It'll be. I think it's going to be his pick of where he wants to go. Either, like I said, Green Bay, but Seattle, because Russ been really advocating to get that cat, man, heavy.
Yeah, I can see that.
Him with DK? Oh, man.
Anybody, like I say, anybody with a decent quarterback, he gonna eat. Even when the games he played up in New England, man, he was like, "Come on, dude." And they was using him sparingly. You know,
They get
So-
Seattle gets Antonio Brown. You're talking about legit contender. Not that they weren't already, but
Right.
that starts pushing them up the list on the favorite because with that Jamal Adams signing, the way
I forgot
Russell
about that
Wilson
cat.
plays, yeah, Jamal Adams is next level too. That kid is unreal. Unreal. I've seen him play in person. He is phenomenal.
So Joe's Raiders. Now, what do you guys? So we got Raiders. We got Steelers.
I'm not a Raiders guy. I'm a Packers guy.
Packers,
cover
my
them.
bad.
Yeah.
I know you guys. We talk about. Okay,
Raiders is right here. Raiders is right here, pimping.
I got you. All right.
Jets.
And then, okay, no beef. All right. So
Jets.
what's up with the coach there? Does Le'Veon hate the cat? Well, what's going on? I don't understand why they hate Gase so much. I just pick up on little things, man. What's up with Gase?
Gase is not he's not Rex Ryan. I can say that. He's not the guy that's going to walk in and command the locker room. That was one of the big beefs Jamal Adams said when he left was after a bad game, he would send an assistant coach in to address the team. He wouldn't address the team. So now Le'Veon Bell and Jamal Adams had a little skiff when this all happened.
Yeah.
Bell was all upset, like, dude, you were the one that told me to come here, and then you dipped.
Hey, that's part of the game, brother. That's part of the game.
That's also the Jets' fault, though, because any defensive star they have drafted in the last decade that's done well, they have not signed to a big contract. They let Muhammad Wilkerson walk, Sheldon Richardson walk, Damon Harrison walk. Jonathan Vilma, Jamal Adams. They got rid of Jamal Adams. Darrelle Revis, that they had to sign him back after Tampa and New England. And
That's not their fault, though. That's not their fault. Revis literally, he put a Deion Sanders and said, "I'm going to the highest bidder." That's not their fault. He was like, "Show me the money."
Funny though, I actually got to go to the restaurant in upstate New York and got to dine there one day where that whole secret meeting between the Jets and Revis and all that. I got to go to that restaurant. Revis wanted money. He wanted to get paid. Didn't want to pay him. At the time, that was foolish. You pay the man. He's the best cornerback.
Here's the thing with Revis. His uncle is former defensive tackle Sean Gilbert, and he knew how to finagle the contracts with the teams, and that's what he had Revis doing. Revis did the same thing to maximize money, which I'm all for.
Yeah, but this goes back to my point with the Jets, though. You have Muhammad Wilkerson, this guy, that guy, that guy. They don't sign any of these guys to keep them. They let star talent walk away. You let Jamal Adams, arguably the best safety in freaking football right now. You're like, you know what? Screw it. We're not going to sign him to a crazy contract. Listen, he's the only reason people are coming in that stadium to watch those games, to watch that dude put the hit stick on people. They're not coming to watch Sam Darnold throw 3 interceptions. They're not coming to watch Le'Veon Bell rush for 70 yards.
There you go.
Safeties don't win titles.
Oh,
No, but
That's real.
defenses do. And if you pay the entire defense, you got a fucking chance like they did back in 08 and 09 when your damn Steelers knocked us out. Thanks, by the way.
Well, yeah. I'm surprised we won, dude. Surprised. We didn't do nothing
Outside of
with it.
Revis, those other guys weren't. Outside of Revis, those guys were a bit overblown. I mean, when they left, Vilma had some decent time in New Orleans, but he wasn't like this big linebacker down in New Orleans, man, or whatever. When those guys all left, they never recaptured whatever small glory they had with the Jets.
No,
So,
but when they were together, that Legion of Boom
There you
could
go.
they
suck
still
it.
suck.
That Legion of Boom could suck it when they had Kerry
still
Rhodes
suck.
and Darrell Revis and Cromartie. They still suck. They were the best defense 2 years in a row, dude.
And,
Yeah,
Tom
they're
Brady,
pretty good.
and Tom Brady shredded them up every time y'all played
Really?
each other.
Hold on. Whoa. Really? Tom
Here we
Brady
go.
shredded them up in the regular season. Beat
Yeah.
them 43-2 on Monday Night Football. Then the Jets went into New England 2 weeks later and smacked that bitch around, sacked him 5 times and whooped his ass. So I don't know what you're talking about. And they had a damn good record against them.
So I dropped 40 plus on your defense.
Okay,
And then you never met me in the playoffs because you couldn't make it there with that defense. Get out of
They
here.
beat them. What are you talking about? They went to
Did they make the
back-to-back.
playoffs?
They
Did
went
make
to
the playoffs?
Back-to-back
back-to-back
championships.
AFC
Back-to-back
championship
championships.
That was
games.
before,
What are you
that was
talking
before that
about?
so-called great defense, and they still fucking lost.
We're talking about the great defense, though. We're not talking about before then.
They had a 2-year run of doing something, which was nobody thought that they could do anyways. They had a 2-year run.
The defense
It
was
didn't
sick.
work, and that was
Yes,
The
it.
defense was good.
Like I said,
You had
the
a 2-year
secondary was beast. That
You had a
defense was
2-year run.
nasty.
You guys had a 2-year run, and that was it.
Yeah, but it doesn't change the fact that the secondary was disgusting. And that defense was nasty.
Uh,
The
it
whole
was
they
okay.
just got
Seattle
outscored. It was
blown
just
up
a
because that
battle.
Legion of Boom.
It was
Right.
okay. It was okay. It was okay.
It was solid. It was like, they just couldn't score enough points because the quarterback was whacked. So he put the defense in bad positions to give up some points. Like at the 30, they get a turnover. They just be like a quick score. That's why the scores wouldn't be outrageous when they were trying to get to chat, especially when we beat y'all. It would just go down to the last tick. Old boy was coming down to drive the ball and threw a pick. That was the only reason why we won.
No,
Indeed.
they had a good run. They had a great defense. The Revis those couple of seasons, he locked down the best receivers in football, and he did make a name for himself.
Okay, so for me, okay, there's two things. One, Adam Gase deserves to be fired. They need a new guy there.
Yep.
Okay, he's not the guy to lead that team. Okay, the players don't trust him, and we don't have trust for your players. That you lose, you're going to lose every game. And there's a reason why Miami fired him. He should never have got the job there to begin with. It probably should have been Mike McCarthy, to be honest with you, when after he was available. But now he's in Dallas, and whatever happens there. But I don't know who will take that job. Number two, I'm gonna say something that you're gonna get pissed off at, and I really don't care, but Darrell Revis is a tad bit overrated to me. They played a lot of cover 3, not a lot of man. And
he locked up a whole side of the field, hash to sideline, dude.
It's cover 3.
All he did was hold. All he did was hold.
Yeah.
All he did was hold.
And I'm being honest, as someone that coached DBs, I'm telling you, like I look at he was one of the better corners, absolutely. But for up until he went to Philly, Nnamdi Asomugha was a better corner.
Nnamdi.
Yeah.
Real shit.
Nnamdi was a good corner.
In
Nnamdi was
man-to-man-
not a better corner. You
He
can't be
man-to-man-
5'10"
in
and
man-to-man,
cover a guy
Nnamdi-
that's fucking
Nnamdi will do it.
6'5".
Nnamdi will get you man-to-man in zone. He don't know where the fuck he at. But in man-to-man,
Yeah,
Nnamdi
there you
has
go,
you.
That part right there.
But then, like I said, it was Revis Island, though, man. So
Listen,
half the
you
field
can't look at the
covered.
numbers.
Okay,
He fucking
We're not
Chad
looking at
Johnson,
numbers.
Steve Smith, Calvin Johnson, Randy Moss,
No,
Terrell Owens.
don't bring up Moss because Moss did his thing. Moss did his thing, and I remember.
No, but Revis did have a run where he held all those guys under
Yes, he
60 yards or something.
did.
He did have a run against that though. I would give him that. But once again, it's like somebody else we talked about yesterday. Not gonna bring him up on this show. When your window of greatness is so short, it's hard to put you in that all-time great category with the other greats. He did that for, like we said, for one good season. It's not like every other season he was doing that every single year. He had one good year where he did lock them guys up. Everything else, he kind of just lived off like LP said, the Revis Island gimmick or the Revis Island marketing of it, and it made what he did look better than what it really was.
He was very good for a while. He had that unbelievable season. He wasn't bad when he was playing in New England, and he got a Super Bowl ring either, though.
I mean, so did like 60 other guys. I mean, shit, we ain't calling them all-time greats.
I mean,
no, I know, but I'm saying he wasn't no trash corner. Then he was still really good.
He was good.
He was good. Trash. I'm just saying he's a tad overrated. That's all. And it's no different now than Stephon Gilmore. All of a sudden, Stephon Gilmore is the best corner in the league because it's in New England.
I don't understand that. I don't get that either.
I think that's more of a process of elimination. I don't even think it's because he's in New England. But Patrick Peterson had a bit of a down season. Richard Sherman, he was good, but then he lost a bit of a step.
Overrated too. Sherman,
I think so. That's real talk.
Sherman's overrated to me. Now that I'll agree with you.
Cover 3, cover 4 corner. That's all he is. He can't up on anybody. And when he tries to, he gets. Look, do you know what won the Kansas City?
He got good numbers though.
That's all you need to get money. You're right. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, I understand. Hey, look, if we want to break it down and everything, I'm with you guys all the way. But he got some numbers to get him a good contract every time. So
you're right. I don't disagree.
I don't disagree with that. I'm never going to shit on somebody making money.
I'm not going to call him an all-time great, but I think Gilmore is considered the best because everyone else kind of had like a down season. Like, think about it. Who else would you say is the number one corner today? Not like a best overall, but who would be the number one corner today? You're not going to find as many guys as you would 3, 4, 5 years ago. So by process of elimination, Gilmore is like, well, I guess he's consistent enough. We'll give it to him.
Well, you have Tre'Davious White in Buffalo.
He's solid.
You have Jair Alexander in Green Bay. You have you laugh. He's under the 25. He's probably the top corner in the league.
Yeah, that's under 25. We're talking about best.
And I can put him in that right now. I can put him in that right now.
He said good now. He said good now.
I'm saying right now.
I would take him. You would put him in there. If you were a Bears fan, you would put him in there. He was good, but you would have put him in there. No, you would have.
Yeah, yes, I would. Because Kyle Fuller, if he could catch interception, is in that mix.
See what you just did there? Well, I will put Kyle Fuller in there. That's anything. You just proved my point, Joe.
No, I didn't.
Jalen Ramsey.
Jalen Ramsey's the best corner in the league. Yeah, Jalen Ramsey to me is the best corner in the league. Over Stephon.
That's a lockdown. Yeah, but see, to me, the corner, that's a lockdown dude right there in Jalen Ramsey. You can put him on a guy and he can cover somebody.
And I'm gonna tell you the other guy that could be the top corner in the league if he played corner, and that's Derwin James.
Yeah.
If he stayed healthy, that nigga just be mad.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
I think somebody said that the Raiders should have drafted him, and he was laughed at on social media because they didn't believe in him. And I could have sworn that guy sitting here right now kind of pissed off that people didn't want to listen to his ass. But
I just got on here, so it wasn't me. I just got on
here. I was on record saying he was the best player in that draft.
We know, Joe. We know you're on record as never missing on anybody. You know,
that's not true. That's not true.
We know that's not true. Joe's on record. He was the only guy that said, "Hey, this number 12 from Michigan, he's going to be really good if the Patriots pick him up. 6th round, that's a steal." Joe's the only one that saw it. Joe's the only one that saw it. We know, Joe.
I'm going to tell you who I missed hard on. Like I missed big time is David Terrell. I thought David Terrell was going to be a stud coming out of Michigan.
Man, there's a bunch of cats we could say that on, man.
Jabril Peppers. I thought Jabril Peppers was going to be really good, and it was like,
I thought so too. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
A player like that, a player like Peppers, I really do feel they can work in the NFL, but they just like with quarterbacks, they have to go to the right team that has the right coach that knows how to use them.
New England.
That guy was so versatile. If he would have went to the right team, he probably would have been a lot better as opposed to, like Joe said yesterday, trying to put a square in a circle.
Right. Well, look at. I mean, I'll take it a step further with Peppers. Michigan should have played him at running back, where that's his best position, not safety.
He did ball with that, yeah.
Coming out of Jersey, he was the dude at running back.
He could have played anywhere on the field, though. That's what I'm saying with him. He was one of those guys where he was an all-time athlete talent, like Beckham and Mookie Betts to me. Mike Trout, those are guys that I think could play 2 or 3 sports easily professionally. And I feel like he's one of those dudes where he's got that athleticism that you can't teach that shit.
Yeah.
Man, I'll tell you right now, like, not to get off the football, man, I didn't see much of Mookie in Boston, and I know that cat was that dope. I really did. I thought they were just hyping Boston because they like to hype up their players and athletes and shit. So I'm like, man, I don't know how dope this cat is. Man.
I always used to tell my roommate, I said, man, I hate that he plays for Boston. And he's like, why? I said, because I'm a damn Yankees fan. I was like, I can't stand them. I was like, but he's such a good player. You got to respect it. It was like David Ortiz. Yeah, you hated him, but you respected the shit out of him.
Right. You're right. I had no clue that Mookie was that dope. I had no clue.
Hey, LP, what's up with your boy Chris Archer, man?
Man, listen, dude. Now, again, I'm signing mad on here all the time, destroy my teams and shit. But, hey, when they first announced it, I said, what the fuck are we doing? This cat was whacking Tampa Bay. Why are we trading for him? He's going to get us over the hump. What hump? We're not going anywhere.
No, why did you trade a guy that was 6'8" that throws 100 with a 8-inch breaking slider or curveball? I mean, for Chris Archer, that's the question.
When we gave up him, we gave up Meadows. Meadows was balling, man. This cat was coming. We gave up so much for Archer, and I knew as soon as he came, I said I destroy him every game too. I mean, I said, dude, he's coming out here. He'll give up 2 in the first, 4 in the fourth. He'll be out by the 6th. He never went more than 5. Maybe one game he did. Chris Archer's horrible. Now he's hurt. Now everyone's like, oh my gosh, we gave up too much. You gave up too much, and he gave up nothing for him. Tampa was like, oh, you want to take him? Yes. Take this cat, please, by all means. You're giving us what? Medals and his pitcher? Oh, we can't do anything with them.
They look like Chappelle is Rick James talking about.
His aura. I've seen that.
I can see that shit.
I couldn't believe it, dude. I don't know. And now Tampa's competitive and balling, and they didn't.
God.
And look at us. We have 4 wins. Garrett Cole has more wins than us.
How do you feel about Cole being traded to?
Man, he was gonna go, man. He wasn't. You know what? He wanted to stay, but like I said, the Pirates. If they see Josh Bell's about to get traded too, I want you to know that. So keep that. Just listen. He'll be traded soon. Watch. He's gonna be the next person to go. He's the only person of any value. And if you have any value, Pirates will trade you for a sack of beans. So he'll be the next one to go soon. You watch. You just watch. He'll be gone. Like I said, man, it's just the owner knows he's gonna make money with profit sharing. He don't care what the team does, man. That's why he breaks them on. Do look at us, man.
The real question is Tampa the real deal right now? Because they just swept the Yankees in the Bronx. Now, granted, there's no fans there, so that's a different story, but still. And they just beat a Yankees team that has, 6 guys that's starters on the IL.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, but aren't the Yankees like missing like an arm, their left ear, nostril, 2 lungs, and a rib? Like, it's not the Yankees at fully loaded yet, so it's gonna be something to see. But I can see the logic in Pittsburgh because, like we said with Dallas and the NBA, it's not a big free agent destination, and they're not a team that's going to spend a lot of money. So in the owner's mind, he might be like, you know what? Instead, I'm not going to spend any money. If somebody has talent, I'm gonna try to trade them and hopefully get something in return that might turn into something. I know you said like a bag of peanuts, but if they're cashews, hey, those are good, especially if they're chocolate cashews. That work out. You know what I mean? So
it worked out for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, exactly. So I see that idea of I'm not going to use my money on free agency, but if I could build through young prospects and hopefully we find those next great guys and we have a short run, we can do it that way. So I can see that particular logic. It's frustrating as hell. But I can see where the logic comes in that case.
And that's where, to me, Tampa is – it's a funny thing with Tampa. They're always really competitive.
Yeah.
They don't have any superstars, and they cannot put fans in that stadium to save their lives. So, to me, the real question is, do they need to get Tampa out of Tampa?
That marketing. It isn't for baseball down there, man. They don't come out there for baseball. They're just not going to, no matter what they put out there. No, they'll be successful for a minute. We get some little stars to back them and come to the stadium, but no one's going out there. If it isn't football, it's not going to happen. That's it. I'm not sure if they came out for hockey. I have no idea if they did, but I know for baseball, they're not coming out for that no matter what.
Well, that's the same thing in Miami too, though. Miami's got the same problems. And I'd love to see when stadiums reopen again and they have fans, because the Derek Jeter experiment so far looks like it's working. So I want to see do fans show up to the stadium now? And are they like, shit, my bad. We didn't mean to shit on your parade so hard in the beginning.
Wasn't he doing such a horrible job getting rid of this guy and that guy? And
Getting
he doesn't
rid
know
of
what he's doing. And
two guys that were one was an MVP, one turned into an MVP. Both of them are consistently hurt. Well, Yelich isn't really hitting well this year. But Stanton's just stayed hurt since he's left. I mean, the guy's probably played a full season in 3 years in pinstripes.
One thing you can say about somebody like Jeter, I think it's the same reason why in the NBA the former players turned coaches who are successful aren't the star players. They're more so the role players. Because for Derek Jeter, he was a great player, but it's nothing about him that stood out as a special talent. He wasn't this big bad. He didn't have this crazy speed. He wasn't
clutch.
He was very smart. He knew how to show up on game time and he knew how to prepare. And I think for him, when he evaluates talent, he's looking at the other stuff that he knows to look for and says, Giancarlo, you're a great talent, but you don't work hard.
Well,
you're not focused on being this, and I'm going to get knocked for it. But if I move you, I'm going to get knocked for it, but it's going to work out in the long run, and we're seeing that now.
Well, the thing with Jeter, too, is he brought in guys from the Yankees and other organizations that he's known that were great baseball people and talent evaluators, and he put guys around him so he can be successful. Derek Jeter's not stupid. Look, Derek Jeter, to me, besides being clutch, the thing that stands out to me is looking at a guy who played the premier position for the most iconic brand worldwide, arguably.
His whole career.
And never once got in trouble for anything. Never was linked to any scandal other than how many bad chicks he banged out on a regular.
My boy.
And I mean, his starting nine is phenomenal. He can go. He can have a DH and a full bullpen too. And he was giving them bags to get the hell out of his townhouse because he was like, "Hey, bitch, yeah, I smashed you. Hey, here's your bag. Uber's waiting. I'm gonna holler." Like
that's Derek Jeter bag.
And back then they was like, "What the hell is Uber? It's 1998. Don't worry about it. Okay, you'll know."
For real.
I just saw a comment. Somebody just put a comment.
Chris Camello. Yeah.
So I actually want to say something about that. So originally, when Derek Jeter got to Miami, he brought up to Don Mattingly came to Derek Jeter and said, "Listen, if you got to let me go, do what you got to do for your, experiment. Don't basically hold on to me because of the Yankee ties and our friendship and shit." And Jeter told him, "No, I'm gonna keep you on as a manager, and I'm gonna do the same stuff as if you were anybody else." And I do think Don Mattingly is gonna work well as a manager there because, like Joe just said, they brought in a lot of the Yankees guys. Derek Jeter is a Yankee lifer, so he's gonna bring that kind of mentality that the Yankees had to Miami. And they're going to evaluate talent differently like the Yankees do. How many guys have the Yankees picked up that you've never fucking heard of that they turn into a damn superstar and you're like, son of a bitch? They got Gio Urshela from freaking the Indians for $25,000.
I thought it was
commutatively. It was the Indians. He played for the Blue Jays before that.
Oh, okay.
They got him there, and $25,000. We commutatively could have bought the guy. My point is, you're talking about a guy that's now a superstar or a star. I mean, on a big team, and they find guys that nobody else is looking at, and they fix the problem that you had with them, and that's what I think Jeter's doing.
Right. That's all it's all about. That's what I'm saying. He may be getting the credit, or everyone's behind the scenes working, which is dope. And it's for the team. You always can surround yourself with smart people. That's what one of my old bosses tell me. He said, "I'm not smart, but everyone thinks I am because I surround myself with smart people. That's why I'm successful." I'm like, there you go. And shit, I'm around with that for the rest of my life. There you go.
Everybody I ever hear talk like celebrities like The Rock, Kevin Hart, all these guys, when you hear them talk, what do you always hear them say? "I have the greatest team around me." Not, I did all this. This is me, blah, blah, blah. No, I have a great team. Well, Kevin Hart bought all of his friends, his team, all classic cars for all the shit they do to help him.
Well, that's because none of them can do it like Michael Jordan did. He was the only one who could have done it by himself. 1-on-5, he beat everyone by himself. Nobody else on the team did anything.
Do you hear this slander?
If you watch The Last Dance, no, seriously, guys, seriously. If you watch The Last Dance, episode 1, that opening scene where Scottie Pippen, where they put Scottie Pippen's picture in to get the steal to Kukoc, that actually in real life happened. That was Michael Jordan that did that. Jordan got the steal, dove on the floor, tipped it, got up, ran to the other side, got the ball, and then dunked it. But he said, because Joe, just like you, I know a guy who was working on the film. He wanted other guys to get credit for it because he didn't want to seem selfish. So he had those guys dubbed in. If you look, there's a shadow there you can see. I'm telling you guys, you got to
I don't know how you
did that. Photoshop.
Hey, you know what it is? It's third eye, bro. It's third eye.
Nigga, how did you do that? How did you bring it back to this? I don't know how you stuck it in. I'm like, dude, there's no way. He brought it in
every
suddenly.
Conversation somehow.
He got his full point across with highlights and ended. I don't know how you did that shit, dude.
Hey, I need a refill. That's why.
Oh shit! I'm gonna tell you. Like, to answer Chris's question, and Chris has a podcast himself. I am sold on Mattingly as a manager. I'm gonna tell you why.
What? You sold on who?
I am sold on Don Mattingly as a manager. And I'm gonna tell you what. I think he got a lot of flack and a lot of shit from Dodger fans, and that he took the heat for because he had a bunch of nerds up in the press box and up in the GM suite telling them, so this is what a computer said, go look at the book and you need to make this pitching change right now. And I don't think he has that in Miami. I mean, I know he doesn't have that in Miami. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have anything to do with that. He goes out there and if he's every manager is flawed. Butch Bochy was great about Butch Bochy when he was managing the Giants and even the Padres. He's great with the bullpen. Don Mattingly's not great with the bullpen. So you give him a pitching coach that's great with the bullpen so he doesn't have to worry about that shit. Nah, Don, we're going to do this. He's good to go here. Or your bench coach, whoever it is. If it's Tim Waller, whoever, I don't give a fuck who it is. Give him somebody that's great with that because that's going to help him. But when it comes to – look, Don was an MVP. Well, I believe he was Rookie of the Year as well. The only thing he didn't do – two things is win the World Series, win the ring, because he was on some shitty Yankee teams. He was a part of those just horrible teams. And he doesn't belong in – or not that he doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame, but he's not in the Hall of Fame. I think he's a Hall of Famer. I think in his first 7-year period, he was the best player in baseball. And I think – so at that point, I think that should be considered. It's not his fault his back went to shit. But he Gold Glove first baseman, leader, everything.
He's the face of the Yankees.
Exactly.
Donnie Baseball.
Exactly.
I mean, the hitman, right? So at the end of the day, I believe players respect that. Players respect the fact that they got a guy that's been out there, that laced them up, that's fought the battles that they fought, are fighting. They know that he's been through it. So I think, he's got a baseball guy running the team. He can go to Jeter and say, DJ, look, hey, Jazz, we need to get Jazz Chisholm up here to play short because our shortstops is fucking up. Let's go with the young kid, let him go. Hey, Monty Harrison, let him get out here, let him roll in center field, and let him get ready to go. If we're going to take it on the chin this year, let's get the young guys ready so we can speed up this process. And then next year, the year after, go out there and compete for a World Series. So I love that about Don Mattingly, and he's a great dude. So I mean,
that's what I was getting at earlier about the whole thing with him and Jeter. Is I don't see him going anywhere because I think the two of them, with the Yankees background, could work together well because you don't have to bring a guy in there and go, this is the way I want to do shit. You already knew how to do it before I knew how to do it. So I could just put you out there and I know you're going to run the dugout the way I want it to be running the team.
It could be worse. It could have Clint Hurdle as our manager.
No, man. I don't even understand. That's when you just know. That's when you sabotage the team. You just bring in cats you know that's going to fuck it up. All you got to do is come and spit out, policies and just kick it 9 innings, do some dumb shit, and get paid. I'm in.
And about his comment, Chris' comment about Clint, Clint Frazier is the most underrated Yankee, and they need to leave that kid in the lineup, whether he plays defense or not. You make him the everyday DH. I don't give a shit. Trade Stanton if you have to. I think Frazier's
Trade Stan? You sure? I thought that.
Listen, if you had to do it, do it. The guy hasn't played enough meaningful games in pinstripes, and when fans are in the damn stadium at Yankee Stadium, for some reason, the guy shits his pants.
Yeah,
trade him to Pittsburgh for Josh Bell.
Dude, Pittsburgh, we were rejected because we got to actually pay him some of his salary. The Yankees get paid. I mean, like they get paid 98%. The 2% people be like, "Oh, we don't want it. We want different. 2%, we're not going to do it." It's just
no. The Yankees will trade him for a cardboard box and 3 guys off the street that were hot dog vendors, and one of the hot dog vendors will win a Cy Young in 2 years.
Oh shit!
And then they'll turn it into a 30 for 30, and they'll have Bradley Cooper playing the character.
Okay, all right. I thought he was going there. I'm sorry.
I did too.
I heard 30 for 30, and I was like, dude, that's impossible.
Oh shit!
I'm just waiting for him to say, yeah, and like Joe, because behind him he got them black and red drapes going, and you know who did that, right? The guy that could do no wrong when the NBA stopped playing, and he's still winning MVPs right now.
I'm just saying.
You're doing it for him. You don't see his game. Now you're talking for him about it, dude.
He's in your head.
Hey, what's that? What's that one meme?
Dude,
I just posted
plant
that
the seed.
today.
I plant the seed. I water it, and I just watch it grow.
Oh, shit.
Now tomorrow I'm gonna be mad at Jordan for some reason. Somebody gonna say something about Jordan. I'm going to be like, you know what? He wasn't that dope. You know what? I'm not gonna say something stupid tomorrow. Watch, I'm gonna catch hell for it. I can feel it. Man. I'm slowly getting brainwashed by it. I can feel it.
So here's
Speak the truth, my brother. Speak the truth.
So here's the question: Jordan or Autistic Rivers?
All right. So we already know how I feel about Rivers. I have no beef with Jordan. See, you got me thinking. You had me thinking about it for a minute. I have no beef with Jordan.
He's renting headspace now.
That's right.
You ain't gonna trick me into your voodoo.
You made me pause for a fucking minute here. I'm like, what is this? This makes no sense, dude.
Hey man, I pull that Phil Jackson. I pull that Phil Jackson voodoo trick on y'all, man. Messing all y'all up.
Fucking Zen, dude. No Zen. This ain't Bush in the '80s. No, everything's Zen, dude. Quit that shit, dude. Dude, man, that was classic. All right, fellas. I get it ready. I'm sorry. I want to hang and chill with y'all for a minute.
I know, LP. I know, my man, LP. Man, I appreciate you jumping out with us, brother. And as always, like next time we up on it, man, you have an open invitation. Just hit me up. We'll get you on, brother.
I appreciate that, fellas, man. Thank y'all for the shit, man. This is fantastic, man. Nice to meet y'all. We got to do this shit again whenever y'all want me, all right?
Come back again, brother. Come back again.
You got it, fellas. Good night, man.
All right, man.
It wasn't shit.
My man, LP right there, man. One of the best. Like, man, like, so I was doing a show with somebody in the past, and he got introduced to me through the show. And he was like one of our first call-ins. And he was so raw with his takes that it was like every week he called in to do his little call-in for like 6 months. And just the friendship grew from it. And he literally is one of the best dudes I've ever met, bro. Like, and his takes are so hilarious. Follow him on Twitter at Lord Pincus, Pincus. It's uncensored, it's raw, but you're gonna love exactly what he talks about. He talks about everything from cartoons to movies to everything that we talk about sports wise. And his takes on Mike Tomlin are hilarious. They are great. So
I love to have a conversation with him because I got a few takes on him as well. But due to the nature of the environment right now, I can't criticize the brother.
Oh, you're not a big Mike Tomlin guy then? He said.
You mean the dude from Scrubs that coaches the Steelers on the side?
Basically. in fact, they might be doing a little bit better if they got someone from Scrubs to be the damn head coach. See, damn. Don't y'all do it. Don't y'all do it.
Okay. So who do you hate more, Tomlin or Jordan?
Well,
that's easy.
If we're being honest here, okay, if we're being honest, Jordan could have went to the NFL and been a starting quarterback and running back at the same time, okay? You saw what happened in baseball. He could have been what Ken Griffey Jr., Bo Jackson, Barry Bonds, and Jose Canseco was all wrapped into one if he would have just had one more week. You saw the documentary. He needed one more week. He would have been the MVP of Major League Baseball without ever playing the game.
Oh, my God.
They actually said, you know what Bo knows? Bo knows nobody would remember him if Jordan would have played baseball. Bo knows.
No, you know, Mike said Bo don't know shit. I'm Michael Jordan.
Exactly. Bo who? Bo
You're
who?
making me start
He
to
got
fucking
you
hate
now.
on him, you dick.
He got you.
I told you was next.
You and you. I don't hate on Jordan, so whatever.
I don't hate on Jordan. I got like 30 of his shoes in my room.
Fuck shoes.
Of course, that's what he wants. He wants you guys to be slaves to his $6,000 shoes because he wants y'all to make it seem like, hey, remember the shoes I released in 1998? I'm gonna re-release them. Nothing new to it, just the same old shoe, but they're gonna be $7,000 damn dollars, and you guys are gonna buy it. Why? Because I'm better than Jesus.
So okay. So if I had Jordan on the phone and he wanted to get into a ring with you, would you do it?
Well, it would be impossible simply for the fact that when Michael Jordan stepped into the ring, nobody else stands a chance. I mean, if you put Muhammad Ali, Joe Louis, Floyd Mayweather, Roy Jones, and Mike Tyson all in the ring, none of them will get out the first round with Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan needs 2 sparring sessions. He'd be the greatest boxer to ever live. That's how good Michael Jordan is.
Okay,
yeah.
so this McGregor Diaz thing that you talked about in a rundown, is that legit or is that just on some bullshit?
No, that's legit. For you know how we do that. Like, hey, today in history, Ken Griffey Jr. hit his 400th home run, and it was a grand slam or whatever. This day in history, 4 years ago, Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz had their rematch. Now, this was a pairing of 2 personalities, 2 fighters who separately had their fan bases where everyone loved them, but they never were really mentioned as far as matchups because they were in different weight categories. Conor McGregor was going to fight Rafael Dos Anjos for the lightweight championship. Dos Anjos gets injured like 11 days out, so everyone's trying to figure out, is it going to be Cowboy Cerrone, Anthony Pettis, this guy, and then out of nowhere, Dana White says, I'm going to give y'all Nate Diaz. And it was one of those things we didn't know we wanted until we heard it. Then that's all we wanted. They had their first match. It went the way it did with Diaz winning. The rematch came, and it was, at the time, the biggest MMA fight of all time. And those 2 put on a 5-round war that was just spectacular. And despite the shit talking, despite the constant rivalry, even to this day, at the end, everybody won. We got to see a great fight. They showed each other respect, and we got to see 2 of the best do it. And even though they haven't done a trilogy yet, if and when they do it, it'll match Stipe Miocic and Daniel Cormier as one of the greatest trilogies in combat sports history.
Well, it's funny that you brought up on this day in history because on the 19th of August, when we started the show, or 20th, excuse me, which is currently the 20th, depending on what time zone you're in.
Yep.
Lou Gehrig hit his 23rd and final Grand Slam of his career.
Wow.
In 1938.
Oh, that don't count. Oh,
it counts.
It don't count.
It counts.
When did Jackie Robinson come into Major League Baseball? So it don't count.
That's like saying
no, it don't count. If we can't count the Negro League stats in Major League Baseball, we can't count the stats of Major League Baseball before others were allowed to play.
They're counted in when they go to the Hall of Fame.
No, they're not, because if that was the case, Josh Gibson would have more home runs than Babe Ruth.
What did Josh Gibson finish with in the Negro League?
I don't got it right at the top of my head right now, but I do remember.
Rich is getting it. I can tell from the look on his face.
Yeah. Rich feel like he downloaded that shit right there. But it's one of those things. I just look at it as Major League Baseball, and those guys were great, but it's hard for me to look at those guys with the same reverence when you only played against each other. You know, you didn't play against everybody who should have been in Major League Baseball at that time. Not all their fault. I know that's not everyone's, that wasn't all of them that felt that way. Those were the rules, but I really can't, I can't look at those accomplishments with, oh man, that was awesome, when it was limited on who you could play against.
Holy
I respect that.
I can't find what he hit in his career in the Negro Leagues, but I can tell you something I just saw that is probably one of the most impressive stats I've ever seen. In 34, he hit 69 home runs. In I don't know what year this is, but in one season he hit 84.
Fuck.
That's nuts.
Yeah. Hey, there was depending on who you
and
ask.
his nickname, like you just said, his nickname was the Black Babe Ruth.
Exactly, and depending on who you ask, some people call Babe Ruth the White Josh Gibson.
That's actually the next thing I was just gonna say. Is it says or the White Josh Gibson?
Hey, look, man, I may not be able to sit here and break down all the nuances between a breaking ball and a spinning ball, but I know some stuff.
I mean, his average was 359.
That's
nuts.
That's crazy. That's just crazy.
So
crazy.
224.
That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah, 224 homers
In his career?
in 2,300 at bats against top black teams, 256 at bats against white major league pitchers, and 44 and 450 in the Mexican League.
And I really.
Wow.
That's one thing I wish throughout all of history. I really wish we could have accurate numbers for what people really accomplished and did, not just in sports, but just throughout all history, because it would be something to look at now and then look back at what really happened. It'd be nice.
Oh, I do agree, because some of those stats are just gaudy.
Yeah.
So it's like one of those, you definitely want to see all that in the same place, but it's also that's the terrible part, and the light out of it is the terrible part is that their stats weren't counted. The light is that eventually they were, and things changed and all that. The sad part is it just wasn't done, about 100, 200 years before that, 300 years before that, 400 years, a couple, half a millennium or century.
Yeah.
So looking at the next topic on the rundown, I like Kalani. I like this topic. And explain what you mean by this. Are star running backs and wide receivers overrated? What do you mean by that?
So what I mean is that we talked a little. We were talking about Antonio Brown earlier, and obviously whenever we talk football, a running back or a receiver's name is always going to come up. But I also look at it and say, look, how many Super Bowl teams do you go back on where you can tell me the winning team had a top running back or wide receiver on their team? Because if you think about it, when the Seattle Seahawks won it, Marshawn Lynch did not have a good Super Bowl. But outside of that, all these teams that won Super Bowls, their running back and wide receiver were not amongst the top 3 or top 5. They weren't up there. So in my mind, I'm thinking, look, it's great to have them, and it's great for the production, but is it really worth it? Is that really where you should put your money in? Is it really worth to go out there and say, yeah, you got to keep Saquon Barkley? Do we? You got to keep Julio Jones. You got to get Odell Beckham. Do we? So in my mind, I just think, yes, they're great for selling tickets and jerseys, but are they really what you need on your team if you want to win? Historically, no.
Well, I think Jerry Rice and Joe Montana have a disagreement with you, or Jerry Rice, Steve Young, and Ricky Waters, Roger Craig.
I think that also goes back into like the basketball argument of completely different errors, and I'm not talking about the Jordan shit. I'm not even going there.
No.
Talk about the old stuff. So what I'm saying is, you talk about the like, it's like the basketball argument where it's kind of one of those. You look at football, and football went from air raid offense, running game, heavy on defense, back to running, back to passing the ball, to now you've got gimmicky plays. And, a couple of years ago, everybody was running the freaking Wildcat. In what was it, like 2010? Everybody was running the damn Wildcat, every team in football. And then you go to now where you've got Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, some of these guys that could just do stuff a little different, have good arms, all that kind of stuff, and you could play a little bit of everything versus just your passing down the field defense or passing down the field offense.
Joe, look how far you had to go back. You had to go back to Joe Montana and Jerry Rice. Those guys were on the same team in the early 90s and 80s. Like, you got to go that far back.
Well, that was just off the top of my head. That was off the top of my head. I mean,
name the rest of the teams in the 90s. Them and the Cowboys. Name the rest of the teams.
I agree with Kalani on that, though.
Green Bay, Favre and Antonio Freeman.
Look, I'm
8.
I'm a-
Won
I'm a-
8 Super Bowls.
In the last 20 Super Bowls, you can't really do it. In the
No.
last 20, look, these guys are great, but in the last 20, and then
hold on. Rogers and Jordy Nelson, Greg Jennings.
At the time, Jordy Nelson and Greg Jennings, they weren't considered the top wide receivers in the NFL at that time. They were a great group, but they weren't. If we listed wide receivers, neither one of them were going to come in within 6 names of the top guys. They just weren't at that time.
Yeah, because I think Greg was kind of getting towards the end,
Yeah.
and Jordy was young.
Well, no, Greg was in his prime. I thought he was.
No, that's what I'm saying. He was getting towards the end. He was Driver was done.
Yeah,
Driver was at the end, but that was before they both.
Who's the tight end? Jermichael Finley. What happened to Jermichael Finley? You're talking about a dude that looked like Gronk for like half the season.
He hurt his neck. He had a neck injury that forced him to retire. Like Jermichael Finley was a real dude.
Bad.
Yeah. In fact, when he went down, the offense was actually built around him that season. That's really what hurt them when they had a bad year, because once he went down, they had to pivot. And McCarthy's offense.
I noticed. But see, to me, that also goes back to where I have a beef with the Packers. I'm sorry, Joe. But you're a fan, so I'm sure you do too. It's everybody's beef with the Packers. Put talent around Aaron Rodgers. And where I argue with everybody is everybody goes receiver. No. You get that kid a superstar, or that man a superstar tight end, and I think he could do a lot more damage with that, especially the way he likes to run around. You could put some decent receivers around him, and he's going to get them the ball, especially deep. But you give him a good tight end, because I thought when Jimmy Graham got there, I thought that was going to be crazy, but
nope.
Jimmy Graham faded
Jimmy
out.
Graham he's washed. He was washed his last
when
2
he
years
left
in
New
Seattle.
Orleans.
Yeah,
when he left New Orleans, he was washed.
I think Seattle washed him out. I think that's what it was. I think Seattle washed him out.
And I think, like I said, I think Aaron Rodgers needs a tight end more than everybody keeps harping at receiver.
They got this kid. They got this kid DeGuara, and they got this kid Jake Stoneburner, something like that.
Yep.
He both of those guys. DeGuara is more of an H-back. Stoneburner is the tight end. He just got to stay healthy. He's in his second year. Look, here's the thing. Devontae Adams is the top 4 wide receiver. You have Odell, you have Mike Thomas, you have
Julio
Hopkins. Oh, not Odell. Julio, Hopkins, Mike Thomas, Devontae Adams. Those are the top 4 receivers in the NFL. You look at Devontae Adams. He's got the best releases off the line of scrimmage than any receiver in the NFL, and he rolls off the bed hot. So.
Good, Joe.
There's an alpha male there. I think, and this is just some chatter, but with my person, they were trying, and they wanted Justin Jefferson from LSU in this draft. And when they couldn't move up to get him, Minnesota took him at 22. The next person on their board, as far as best talent available that could make an impact for them, maybe not this year, maybe not next year, but going forward, was Jordan Love. That's why they moved up to get him, took him at 26 or 24, whatever it was. My beef with them was they didn't address the receiver position in the second, third, whatever round where there's guys there. They could have moved up, packaged, and maybe gone and get somebody. The problem, I don't disagree with you in a sense, but they went out and got people. 2 drafts ago, they drafted 3 or 4 wide receivers,
and they haven't won. So
no, and I'm gonna be honest. And some Packer fans may like this, me like saying this, some may not. Look, Rodgers probably has one more Super Bowl in him. Honestly, and as far as elite talent, he's the top 5 guy right now. But he's not the same guy as he was. After he broke his clavicle, after Anthony Barr broke his clavicle a few years ago, 3-4 years ago, Rodgers hasn't played a full season at all. Last year was his first year that he did. And he's not the same guy. He misses open receivers. He's the same beef fans have with Derek Carr as far as checking down, holding the ball too long, taking sacks, throwing the Green Bay Packer fans, if they're watching the game unbiased, they have the same beef with Aaron Rodgers.
Some of that I wonder though is he missing targets, or is he throwing it where the ball generally needs to be But if you're not Devontae Adams, you're not getting there to make the plays.
No,
because you gotta have the talent as well, and then the offensive line is also hurt quite often for them as well.
Only the right tackle and Bulag is gone, but their offensive line last year was relative. They played all 16 games. The offensive line was healthy, and it's one of the better offensive lines. It was one of the better offensive lines of football. The problem,
not really. I mean, San Francisco kind of showed y'all differently. San Francisco, Seattle, they kind of showed y'all a little differently, but I get you. But the talent around him, what I'm saying is the talent around him at the skill position. In fact, we're talking about Green Bay. I'm just saying in general, in the last 20 Super Bowls, those teams did not feature a star wide receiver or running back on it. It's not how the game used to be. There's so much talent out there. And like Rich was saying, there's so many different schemes out there to win a championship. Having a star top 3, top 5 wide receiver running back is not what it used to be back in the day. And even for those guys who had it, they had, like you said, we got Jerry Rice and Joe Montana, but we also got Roger Quaid back here. We got Emmitt Smith and Michael Irvin. We also got Troy Aikman there as well. Like, it was paired with each other, right? In today's NFL, everyone's like, oh, we'll get this guy, get that guy. It's not really what it used to be.
What about Peyton Manning, Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, Edgerrin James?
Ooh, yeah.
At that time,
yeah.
I don't believe Edgerrin James was on that team at the time because they had Dominique Rhodes at the running back position. I could be wrong on that. But hold on. At that time, right? I'm not taking anything away from that. In the last 20 years, okay, so you're 1 for 19, Joe.
Well, no.
The other thing I was actually going to say about that too, though, is back to the defense wins championship shit. They had Mathis and Freeney too, didn't they?
Yeah.
And I think Antonio Bethea and they had a good defense that year too, man. Really good defense.
And when
they had quite a few defenses that were good during that time. It's just the numbers don't show it, but they had some good defenses.
Oh yeah,
and I'm not talking about since you brought up running backs and receivers specifically, Pittsburgh had Jerome Bettis and Ben Roethlisberger's and was
Jerome Bettis at that time was not one of the top running backs in the NFL, Joe. That's
1,000-yard rusher.
Dude, he was like the 8th guy in the league that had 1,000 yards a year. He wasn't one of the top running backs.
And that means, I'm giving you. You're asking. I'm just giving you what you asked for.
No. See, what you're doing is this, Joe. What you're doing is this. Well, this guy is not one of the elite scorers. He averages 20 points a game. Yeah, but that's in today's NBA. That's like 19th. Oh, he had 1,000 yards. Yeah, but like when it was around like 2005, 2006, 2007, 1,000 yards was basically 800 yards in the 90s. It wasn't the same, Joe.
I was going to say there was a couple of teams with 1,000-yard rushers.
Yeah, hell.
The Jets had Sean Green and Thomas Jones. The Panthers had D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Smith.
But they didn't run for 1,000 yards as a tandem.
Darren McFadden had 1,000 yards with the Raiders one season.
The one year he was healthy.
We're going to say he was the top running back?
1 year he was healthy.
Yeah. First off, and I'll say this to my dad.
And that's real shit.
He was whack as hell. We should have never went for him. But I'm just saying, if you look at it, it's not what it doesn't mean what it used to be back in the day. Those guys are not getting you the championships. Now it's not their fault. They're doing what they got.
I was just answering the question off the top. I was just going back trying to go up on off the top.
And you're 1 for 19, Joe. So you lost pretty bad. Okay, well, you were the Blazers tonight.
Let's be real about this. If you would have put in total what you actually were asking in a rundown, I would have gone and researched it, and it would have been a different story. Like that. Like that's where this is me off the top of my head at 11:15 on a Thursday night. Not knowing where you're going with this. Our running backs and receivers overrated. That's a vague statement.
We can sit here right now as we're talking. You can look it up as me and Rich are talking, but we can sit here right now and just list Super Bowl champions and go to 2000 and come up to 2020 and tell me on those winning teams at that time, was that running back or wide receiver top in the NFL? I guarantee you're going to find more often than not, no, they were not. And I'm talking about that, like within that time frame. I'm not talking about, Jerome Bettis over 15 years. Yeah, but what was he then?
the Rams 2000 and Tennessee Titans. Marshall Faulk and the Ram offense. Yeah, I think
so that's one. So that's
okay.
one.
When the Ravens beat the Giants, wasn't Jamal Lewis NFL's leading rusher?
Was he?
I believe so. I think is that year he ran. Was that the year he? I'm saying
I can't remember that particular one because I'm not saying this to be coy. I'm saying I can't remember that particular season because that defense was so dominant. I can't remember that particular one. So he might have been that particular
because
year.
I thought that's the year he ran for like 2,000 yards.
Was it the year that they won the Super Bowl? Was it the year that they won the Super Bowl that he ran for 2,000 yards?
I mean,
I'm asking you.
I'm gonna look right now. I'm gonna look at who it was.
I've got a good argument here to what we're talking about. It seems to be the common theme is all these teams that did have a superstar running back or receiver that did the work had just as good or better of a defense.
So Jamal, he did not run for 2,000 yards, but he was the AFC Offensive Rookie of the Year. Okay. Hey, the Rookie of the Year.
No, that's Rookie of the Year, but that means you're only.
No,
rookies,
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just pointing that out.
I get that. That's only against rookies, though. You know what I'm saying? That's only that particular one. So that's only that's taking out all the guys.
And then you have the Patriots and the Buccaneers,
and none of their guys were top.
Yeah,
so
and then you have the Patriots. Then you have the Steelers over the Seahawks, and that was the one where you said what's his name wasn't Jerome Bettis was basically washed, and that was a.
I mean, it literally was his last game ever. So, I mean, it's not like I'm sitting here saying that, and he played 5 more seasons. It was his last game.
And even those teams, they had really good tight ends and not as much the receivers.
Then you have the Colts, and on that Colts team, who was the running back? Let me see.
Yeah, because I do remember Dominic.
Was it Joseph Adai?
Joseph Adai, I think, was there. I know Dominic Rose was there.
It was Joseph Adai. It was Joseph Adai.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can't remember if Edgerrin James was there, but see, once again,
but he had elite wide receivers, Harrison and Wayne. They're two of the best.
That particular, and I'm also going off my memory here. That particular season in that particular short frame, I think it was more so. Man, how can I word this? Okay. Remember the Cincinnati Bengals when they had Carson Palmer, Chad Johnson, and C.J. Houshmandzadeh?
Mm-hmm. And Chris Henry.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I'm only sticking to 2 because it's Harrison and Wayne, Joe. It's only 2, okay? Stay with me here. Houshmandzadeh and Johnson both put up top numbers in that particular one. But at that time, Chad Johnson was the guy, while TJ was the Robin. If my memory serves me correctly, same thing at that time with Harrison and Wayne. Wayne wasn't looked at as one of the top wide receivers in the NFL. When we list names, just like now, Mike Thomas, DeAndre Hopkins, and Julio Jones, and Devontae Adams, and Mike Evans. There's going to be and Adam Thielen. Those 6 guys, right? There's some other names we can name of guys who are really good. But when we say top wide receivers, those are the names that come up. I'm saying in 2006, when they won the Super Bowl, I don't remember Reggie Wayne's name being that just yet, because he hadn't emerged yet. He was good, but I don't think he had emerged as being one of the top guys because Marvin Harrison was doing so much.
Well, let me just pull up his stats from that year, 2006.
And guys, understand, I got no problem if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I got no problem with he caught 86 balls for 1,300 yards and 9 touchdowns.
Yeah. And I could do what I'm saying is at that time he hadn't emerged. Like with it, how can I do it? 2 years before, 2 years after. Right, like a 4 or 5 year window.
Okay. Here's what I'll do. Marvin Harrison in 2001, 109 balls, 1,524 yards, 15 touchdowns, led the NFL. Okay, so Reggie Wayne, the years before and the years after. So that was 2000. It would say 2000. Was that 2006? Okay, the year before. Okay, I'll go 2 years before. 77 balls, 1,200 yards, 12 touchdowns. 83 balls, 1,055 yards, 5 touchdowns. 1,300 yards, 86 receptions, 9 touchdowns. The following year, 104 balls, 1,510 yards, 10 touchdowns. 82 balls.
Where you
I'm
doing
reading
all?
That. No, this
you
is
doing all that.
I know
you're doing all that. What I'm saying is where does that rank among the other top receivers in the NFL as well? See, this is where numbers don't tell the whole truth, Joe. This is what I'm trying to say. Numbers don't tell the whole truth here. And that's what I'm trying to say. I could be wrong on Reggie Wayne. I could be, because I know he's a Hall of Famer. I know that he's a Hall of Famer. I'm not saying
him and Marvin Harrison, like they honestly both, there's the best duo in the NFL for
they were
as long
awesome.
as they've been. I mean, and he was after his second year, he was considered one of the top 4 or 5 receivers in the league. I mean,
So
part of it.
let me get this right. We're 6 years into the Super Bowl rundown, and you've come up with 2 teams.
I'm not done. I'm not done.
No, I know, but it's 2 teams.
I'm going through it. So far, it's 2.
Well,
first are 2. Okay, then you have the Giants, which Eli didn't have the receivers, but who's the running back for the Giants then?
I know they had Bradshaw, Jacobs, and Tiki Barber.
Okay,
I think Barber might have one of those fluke seasons where he like really busted out good or not. I can't remember, but he wasn't considered a top running back.
And then you not the top running back, but then you also had Plaxico, and I think Santonio Holmes was on that team, if I remember correctly.
No,
that was the 20 David Tyree. Okay, then you have the Steelers, and then which when they beat Arizona, that's the team.
Santonio Holmes hadn't emerged yet. Santonio Holmes hadn't emerged yet as a top guy. If LP was here, he'd tell me I'm crazy, but he hadn't. I just saw the Super Bowl thing that they did, and even Santonio Holmes said that's my coming out party. So even he said it.
I would agree with that. And you had Hines Ward, who's solid. Okay. Then after that, you have New Orleans, Drew Brees, Reggie Bush, that team.
Look, I love Reggie Bush. He didn't live up to what he was, and it was very hard because so much was put on him. But Reggie Bush wasn't one of the top running backs ever in his career. Reggie Bush should have came out 6 years later when the NFL transitioned into what running backs are now. He'd have been the shit. But no, Reggie Bush wasn't one of the top dudes then.
In 2009, he had 390 yards on the ground, and receiving, he had 335 yards, and he was more of a punt returner. I don't disagree with that, and just point it out there for fans people that watch this that will say Reggie Bush. Then you have that Packer team, which Rodgers, Jennings, whatever. The Giants, there's that Giants team. Then you have that Ravens team in 2013, which that wasn't a team. I think there wasn't any like. Wow,
I mean, they had guys who were solid, but not guys who you were saying were at the top.
Yeah, then you have that Seattle team in 2014. Then the Patriots, then the Broncos team with Peyton Manning and that group of receivers and running game.
And that season, the offense was horrible. Granted, you could put that on Peyton Manning and use steroids, but So
I just don't disagree with that. Then you have the Patriots and the Falcons, and that was the Patriots, and there wasn't the Eagles. Quarterback was Foles. Don't have journeyman receiver. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just going through this.
No, I got you.
The Patriots and then the Chiefs, with that skill group.
Tyreek Hill, look. We just talked about top wide receivers, and nobody on here mentioned Tyreek Hill when we were talking about top wide receivers.
I don't mention Tyreek Hill for a few different reasons. Not even just on the field,
I'm with you.
I'd say that out of all the ones we've said, you want to talk about high firing offenses. That was probably the most dangerous of all the offenses with Kelsey and Hill.
Even Williams is the running back. I mean, he had a hell of a game.
He was really good too. That was
Sammy Watkins had a big game.
Was probably the best, but I mean, Patrick Mahomes is just next level.
I think that Chiefs and that Colts, that Chiefs and that Colts team. Honestly.
So we went from 2000 to 2019, and 2 teams had good running back, good wide receiver.
Well, no,
at
not
that
good.
Particular time.
You're talking about.
I'm just saying. They had that.
The offense carried the teams in those 2 years.
So out of 18. I'll take 18-2 any day.
Yeah, I don't think they're overvalued though. I think
18-2 says they are.
No. Because some of them are receivers that either are on the downside or those 2 teams had elite receivers. Okay,
I would say the biggest differences too, though, is that you've got these guys under rookie control and rookie contracts. It's not like you're going out and you're signing so and so to a $20 million a year contract. There's a big difference there. I'll bet on guys that you draft and can hold on to those couple of years. After that, no. Then I'm building defense, building a decent run game, and finding a really good tight end, because to me that's the recipe.
Hence why you don't spend big at those two positions, because historically,
not anymore.
Because historically, it's not going to pan out for you
until Bill Belichick does it, and then everybody else is going to do it because it's a copycat league.
But see, the biggest thing about Belichick, why his shit works, is Belichick never does the same thing. He's always tweaking his stuff.
Do you know what he does?
Forever.
Do you know what he does? So if you looked at,
I don't know, because Belichick went and got Randy Moss, he was top, and they lost.
No, they did. And here's what Belichick does.
Gronk, they won.
He
tight end.
You think when they beat the Rams, right? The Rams had this high-powered offense, and they were spreading it out. They were going NASCAR, going quick. But you look at what he did in that game. They stopped and they pounded the ball. He went from running a predominantly 3-4 defense to a 4-3 defense. He got whatever becomes in vogue, he does the opposite. Because the league's going one way, I'm gonna go the opposite way. I'm gonna pivot. It's smart. It's smart.
Yeah, but he's not predictable either, because like we were talking about the other night, with you talk about coaches that drive you crazy. I'll bring this up real quick. My roommate is a diehard Cowboys fan, unfortunately. So I've had to watch a lot of Cowboys games or hear a lot of Cowboys games. Jason Garrett to me was the worst with game planning. That man came out the day before Saturday and was like, all right, guys, this is the game plan for 4 quarters. We're not changing it no matter what. They could stop the run every time. We're going to do it. They could stop this every time. You have to be constantly changing. And to me, it's not just at halftime. You got to do it quarter to quarter, play to play, snap to snap. You got to be able to adjust. It's like we said, adapt or die. You got to be able to keep adjusting. And that's the thing. Everybody wants to make fun of Belichick. He's old and he's cold and all this other stuff. Yeah, but you know what? The guy's smart because he's never doing the same shit.
You heard about what happened before that Super Bowl against the Rams in the hotel lobby, right? They literally were walking to the bus and he had some thought. He literally stopped McDaniels and he drew up and they installed 5 or 6 new plays that they ran in that Super Bowl. Like, that's literally, like, he was like, this is what we're going to do. And it was just like, we're 4 or 5 hours away from the Super Bowl, and you're going to install something right now, the day of the game? Yep.
But that goes back to my adapt thing. So now you look at him and, which I love the other guy I'm about to mention, him and Nick Saban are really close, which I'm sure you guys know.
That was a phenomenal thing HBO did with both of them, too.
Yes, with the 2 of them. I love that.
Yeah.
So now here's what's really funny about that to me. How many fucking coaches have the balls to change their entire offense, players and all, in a national championship game, then come back and win that shit on the last play?
I think what Rich just said is one. Well, both of you guys really, but what he just pointed out, I think that's one of the reasons Belichick is willing to be successful. He's not tied to it's got to be my way and this green book I have. It's all the no. It's like, look, dude. There's some things we got to switch up. There's some things we got to change. So I definitely feel like that's one of the reasons why.
Well, you muted yourself, bro. But there you go.
I don't know what happened with my headphones, but it went. I don't know. But I think I think they died. But that's one of the reasons I think that he's been able to have the success that he's had. He's never been married or tied to just doing it one way. No, I'll adapt when I need to, or like you said, Joe, I'll come up with some new plays right beforehand. They won't see it coming because some guys are stuck in their own ways of kind of like we see in basketball with Mike D'Antoni. No, I'm gonna do it my way. All right, bro. Don't want to change at all, not even a little bit. No. All right. Well, when you don't win.
Smashing your head against the wall.
But what Saban and Belichick have that nobody else has, seriously, nobody else has this, is no one's going to fire them.
No.
They have security, job security. No other coach has that. Let that be Matt LaFleur. Let that be Mike McCarthy in Dallas. Let that be Gruden maybe because he has the huge deal. But there's no college coach that has that. Not Urban, it's Nick Saban. Dabo don't even. Dabo has it, but what? Give it 7 or 8 years when Nick has done it at Alabama. Dabo's bouncing to Bama, leaving Clemson in the dust. He's going,
it's possible. It's very possible, but right now, he's in that same spot. But you know what though? But Bill was also doing that before he became untouchable Bill. Like he was even doing that in their early runs where he was coming up with stuff that other people just weren't willing to adapt to or they weren't willing to take a chance on. He was like, no, I'm gonna do it then. So he's been consistent in doing that throughout his head coaching career.
Hell, he
even saw it in Cleveland when they had a winning record with him.
He even did that to the Jets when he said he wanted the job and then said, nah, fuck that shit.
I was just kidding.
Oh,
you almost had it.
So close. Almost had it. He was like, yeah, I'm going to take the job.
No, and I think that's why Bill Belichick loved Lawrence Taylor so much is because Bill Belichick would draw these crazy plays up on defense, and Lawrence Taylor could run all of them.
Yeah.
He's like, this guy's great. He can do everything I asked him to do.
Who was more dominant as a player, Lawrence Taylor or Reggie White?
That's tough.
That's really tough. I'd almost have to give it to Taylor for one reason. You're playing middle linebacker and sacking guys that much.
I thought he was outside.
Yeah, he was outside linebacker.
I'm sorry, outside. Still though, you still got to drop back into coverage every now and again and do some stuff.
Yeah, none of his highlights or him. I would say problems. I would say, oh man, see, it's tough because Lawrence Taylor was a part of 2 Super Bowl winning teams, so I know we're going to put rings and all that into it.
Rings excluded.
I would say maybe Reggie White simply because, and this is not a knock, it's just a fact. Lawrence Taylor was phenomenal and was football smart, but he also had an ace in the hole. I'm just more athletic, faster and stronger than you guys. So even if I mess up on a play, I know I could just recover with my speed. Where Reggie was like, yeah, I'm big, strong, and quick, but I also got to make sure I work on my fundamentals. When I'm taking on the Anthony Munoz's, et cetera, I can't just say, oh, I messed up. No. So I would say Reggie White as far as more dominant, but that is literally saying, nah, it was Lawrence Taylor. It's that close.
Plus, Lawrence Taylor kind of cheated. He used to get a little jacked up at halftime.
Oh, he liked the party.
Sure. Yeah. I know one of my buddies, not going to bring up the name because I don't want to incriminate nobody, but one of my buddies, his ex-girl's dad used to play for the Giants with him, play defense as well with him. And I've heard some stories about how old boy used to get juiced up at halftime, come out there all bug-eyed, crazy, woo!
Yeah,
a dude from the Replacements. Go get me the ball.
Mm-hmm.
It was like him in Any Given Sunday. Come on, Doc.
Yeah.
Just give me a little taste.
hey, man, look, you watch that, you almost think that's about to be a gay scene right there, the way he looking and talking to him like, hey, man, what the hell y'all about to do up in here, boy? This Oliver Stone crazy for this shit.
For me, it is a toss-up. In being a Packer fan, I want to say Reggie White just because of what he meant and the impact he made on the defensive line. And honestly, he was a great run defender. He gets a lot of obviously accolades for the sacks, but he was a great run defender. But Lawrence Taylor was just so elite. That I agree. It's like splitting a hair. It's like splitting a gnat's pubic hair. It's like it's either one. I mean, is there anybody nowadays, do you think, that is or has been comparable to either one of them?
Well, I know. Go ahead, Rich.
I was going to say there's one guy that, there's one guy I think could have been in elite company, but not with them with the sacks. I just think as one of the greatest defenders of our generation, but he retired early, was Luke Kuechly. I think Luke Kuechly was, of our generation, he was one of the best consistent defensive players.
I would say for it, just to compare, our Reggie White is J.J. Watt. And unfortunately, his body broke down the last few seasons. But JJ had a run where he was in the lead company, and it was sad that the Houston Texans didn't have an offense because, man, he was something special. And for Lawrence Taylor, I would say, man, it's really a toss-up between Von Miller and Khalil Mack. I know Khalil Mack was kind of looked at as being that, but I would say out of those two have been, especially Von Miller, they've been two of the most consistent guys. They've been two of the most consistent guys since being in the NFL. Whether they have talent across from them or they don't, they've been consistently good damn near every year in the league that they've played full season.
See, okay, so going back, I would if I chose the guys from that, it'd probably be Derek Thomas. Derek Thomas was he was elite. He was special. But talking about currently, Chandler
Jones. Ray Lewis.
Chandler, well,
they play middle linebacker as opposed to outside linebacker. So it's kind of hard to judge those.
Well, that's what I meant with the Kuechly thing too, about like, I don't think there's been a guy recently, Strahan, that's sacked like that. You know what I mean? Like he was saying,
I'm not even. I would say Chandler Jones. Like if you look at Chandler Jones, he's in Arizona. He's not playing anywhere. He leaves. Like Bill Belichick, they gave up a third-round pick. They got the second or third-round pick for him. But he goes on. He's led the league in sacks. He has the most sacks the last 3 or 4 years in total.
I guess the way my mind was going is just dominant, consistent defensive players that you would want. Like if you could start a defense, and you're saying to me, you get to pick one guy, start from there and go down. That's, you know what I mean. That's probably where I would start.
You start with Kuechly.
If he didn't retire, yeah.
I mean, he's dead. I'll say Sean Taylor, but
that's another one. I was thinking more recent, like who? Because Derek Thomas and Sean Taylor are unreal, and then you go to Ray Lewis, Ed Reed. You can go down the list of those guys too. But
guys, not as. I mean, it's tough because I'm trying to think of like a backer or somebody, and I think I'm gonna be honest. I think Khalil Mack is overrated. Like what he did his second, third, and fourth year with the Raiders, he balled the fuck out. And then when he got to that fifth year and they traded him to Chicago, what I seen from him, and I went back and watched a lot of the games that he played in. Khalil Mack got a lot of sacks against very bad teams, and he got them in bunches. It was the Max Crosby effect from last year.
All right, let's not go there.
How much of that was moving him from outside to end?
Well, that played a role, I think. But look, and I'm not discrediting him. Like, I'm not saying he's shitty, but I'll go to his first game with the Bears, right? They play Green Bay. And the first half, Rodgers goes down, I think, in the second series, and he fucking dominates Deshaun Kaiser. Like, eats him up. Couple sacks, forced fumbles, scoop, score, all that. Rodgers comes back in, and he's neutralized one-on-one with Bulaga the second half. The lasting image of that first game is Randall Cobb running down the field with little to no time left and him chasing him, being gassed at the 5-yard line. Then the following week, you hear nothing.
It's a defensive lineman and a wide receiver.
No, I know. I understand it. But he didn't do anything the second half. Then you go to the Seattle game the following week. He doesn't do anything in the first half. But the second half, somebody goes down and he dominates and picks up sacks. And that's the Khalil Mack. And it's been like that. And I've even watched, again, because Chicago plays Green Bay twice a year, and I watch those games closely, I've literally watched Green Bay single block him one-on-one. They're not having anybody come chip, not anybody come help. And
you also got to ask, are the Bears utilizing him correctly, though? Are they asking him to do the same things where he was dominant, or are they asking him to have different responsibilities as opposed to before? Like what Rich was saying, not only are we going to switch your position, but what if we're asking you on this play, this is what you're supposed to do first? And if we're going to go over, and I understand it, I'm going to get shit, and people aren't going to agree with this again, but if we're going to go over, you didn't do this and that, hey, you know what? Lawrence Taylor did a lot of his shit against non-athletic offensive linemen.
No doubt about it.
Who weren't what they were. So, it's easy to look like the super freak when you're the college senior playing against high schoolers. You know what I'm saying? So if we're going to do that, we got to do the same thing for what's that thing called when it's old?
Have revisionist history?
Yeah, like if we're gonna hold the guys today to a certain standards, let's go back in our past and let's do the same thing for them. We can't just say these guys did that and it was awesome. It's not like every guy he did it against was an all-pro Hall of Famer.
I just think that Khalil Mack gets this praise and these accolades because it's in vogue to do it. You know, oh well, they said it. He had a couple of years ago. Oh well, he's got to be it now. Nah,
Dude,
because
that's not today. That's not today's society, Joe. You know that today's society is all about how can we criticize you, how can we rip you down, and just like Rich was saying, we build you up, but it's also we could push you over. So it's not about I'm gonna jump on the bandwagon. The whole thing is I want to jump on the bandwagon because I want to be that monkey that pulls it down and
the wheel off the bandwagon.
Exactly. I want to be the last body that's too much pressure and the building collapses. That's what it's all about. No, I think it's literally people look at it and say, no, this dude's legit. He's just unfortunately is on a really bad team.
And that's was his choice because that's where he wanted to go. Honestly, there's other offers that the Raiders turned down, but he could have stayed with the Raiders and got paid. It was $2 million less than what the Bears gave him, but he wanted out of Dodge.
Hey man, I only played this game for so long. I got to maximize my dollars.
No, I don't have a problem with that. I never had a problem. I don't have a problem with that. But see, and I'll use the next one, like Amari Cooper. Like everybody seems to think Amari Cooper is this great receiver. The dude leads the league in drops.
Terrell Owens did that for a couple of years too. So but the guy was disinterested the last 2 years in Oakland. Gets traded. We weren't that good, Joe. We weren't that.
He's
good.
been
Randy
decent in Dallas.
In Oakland, okay.
He's been decent in Dallas. He's not great though.
Yeah, I mean, Randy Moss wasn't interested in when he was with the Raiders. When you're on a bad team, Joe, you should know this too. When you're on a bad team, it's hard to stay interested year after year, game after game, if the team is not good. It's hard.
No, I understand
it's like Calvin Johnson retired in his freaking prime, and Barry Sanders retired in his prime because of the same damn things.
Bad
team. Detroit.
The thing with Cooper, for me, is there was a couple years where Owen struggled with drops early in his career.
This was in Dallas, so that wasn't necessarily early in his career. It was.
It was.
I believe he had I think he had a finger issue, but I'm just saying.
Owens is a better receiver than Cooper ever will be. Like,
no, that's true. But what I'm saying is that if Hall of Famers can lead the league in something, so can guys who are not Hall of Famers. You know,
it's his whole career. He's been this though. And it's always been meant. Yeah, Cooper's drops
seasons too.
He's had very solid seasons.
Yeah, and no one's ever said. Look, when we talked about receivers earlier, did anybody say Amari Cooper?
No, but I guess I get. But
him up there. No one really puts him up there besides Cowboy fans.
And Raider fans still like we shouldn't have traded Amari. We shouldn't have traded Mac. We shouldn't. It's like
I love my team. I ride with them anywhere they go. But trust me, man, I do not get down with my Raider Nation like they do. Because they be on some bullshit. We should have kept CL Moore, man. He was good. I loved him, man. D'Angelo Hall for us was something special, man. That would have been so. He just had a bad game. You can't get caught up in what the fan base is saying because, as you know, being a Packer fan, that stuff it's emotional. It's tied to it. It swings, man. So you can't go off what they say.
I'm just going by what I see. What I witnessed. That's why like my Khalil Mack take pisses TQ off. It pisses off some Raider fans. But then there's other people that are like, you know what, dude, that's right. If you go back and look at the majority of the sacks, it's not against elite left tackles. It's not in clutch times in games in big games. It is literally against teams that are struggling or teams that aren't good in almost meaningless games. And I know playing in Oakland for those years and playing in Chicago right now, yes, a lot of meaningless games that were in there.
Yeah, they're all meaningless. Outside of week one in the Packers, every game the Bears play is meaningless.
Oh, no, that year they went to this first year. They went to the playoffs. And he was non-existent in the playoff game.
When they had the best
Watt's
defense.
been non-existent when they played the Patriots as well. You also got to look at it too. Some teams just know how to scheme better against an elite guy than others do. Some just know how to do it better. When you watch the Patriots play against the Texans, J.J. Watt is a non-factor whatsoever. Why? Because they go the opposite direction and 2 seconds they get the ball out. J.J. doesn't have a chance to get off the damn to get off the snap. So there's some teams who just know how to scheme better against those players nowadays. Unlike before, where you was under center, you had to get back, and you had 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Oh no! So it's a lot different now.
Yeah, I just have.
So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Khalil Mack is like this all-time great or whatever. He still has a lot to prove, but I definitely feel like he's good. But like this, I know Chandler Jones is doing great. Does anybody talk about the Cardinals' defense at all?
They started to last year.
So why? Because their offense started looking, and then he started saying, "Hey, on defense, they got one guy that's getting a lot of sacks. So is he getting a lot of sacks that are meaningful? Is he getting a lot of sacks that are game changers? He's been in 5 years. In 5 years, only half of one. Well, they starting to talk about it. So 4.5 years. What those sacks mean? Not a damn thing. They're good for his career, though.
Chandler Jones is more dominant than Khalil Mack.
Really? 4.5 years, the Cardinals didn't go anywhere. So
Mack in Chicago has one of the better D lines, and a guy on the opposite side, they went and spent money the last couple of years to put guys around him. With the Raiders, he had help, but he was the focal point. But he had help, and with Del Rio, and what Del Rio did, he put him in a position to be very successful. I just don't feel personally. I mean, it's just me. And I'm not saying Mack is trash. I'm just saying I think Chandler Jones is a better defensive player. Give me him. So,
I'm not. You look, those are two guys who are close to each other. So it's not like you're saying, Bubba Smith Johnson is better. Those are two guys who are close to each other. So it's hey, is Michael Thomas better, or is it DeAndre Hopkins? Those guys are close enough to where it's like, okay, I can rock with that.
Well, on that note, we did a 2.5-hour show. Thanks for LP for joining us. Lakers play Saturday. Tomorrow, you got UFC preview coming out Saturday. Who you got this weekend with the UFC fight?
I mean, it's hard to go against Frankie Edgar simply because he's been so consistent throughout his career. Even in losses, he's never lost a one-sided affair outside of his only knockout loss to Brian Ortega. Other than that, his losses all been very close decisions. So it's hard to go against Frankie Edgar and what he's doing and whatnot. So it's another weekend of fights. I'll be turning that in tomorrow, but it's another weekend of fights for the UFC. So there we go. And it's official. UFC 253, September, I believe it's 12th. I believe it is. Israel Adesanya defends his middleweight title against Paulo Costa. UFC Fight Island, baby, it's on.
Richie, you go to Fight Island, baby?
I got to go somewhere to watch the fights, unfortunately.
we all do, brother. We all do.
Well, guys, we want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. Thanks to Lord Pennykiss, LP, to jump on and have some fun for about an hour or so with us. You can catch all of our stuff on the franchise at franchisesportsmedia.com. The handles on all social media is the franchise LV. We appreciate everybody tuning in for our long-ass shows. We have a good time doing it. A lot of energy. It's a blast to do with these guys. We bust each other balls, but we love each other. So definitely appreciate that. And I love it when Kalani's on that brown. He's on that dark. You kind of see a whole new thing. So
well, tomorrow's Friday, so I might be partaking in a little brown liquor myself.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, can we all partake in a drink? And I don't know. I think Netflix has a 10-part documentary series that ESPN aired. We could all watch that during the show and enjoy that fictional tale that was going on with all the lies and the bullshit that they told us in there. We could watch that for fun. How about that?
All I gotta say to you regarding that, Kalani, is this. This is how I'm looking at you right now.
Hey, I got a quick question for you, Joe. This is me being honest. Can we never have the boss man on the show?
Nope. He's coming. He's coming on. He's coming on. He's made that clear. He's coming on.
When that happens, can you tell me so I can take a break? Simply because, and I'm going to tell y'all this, I could never tell him this. He might see this part of the show. I don't know if he will. Dude, that when he came out and whatnot, and I was a little bit younger, I can't tell you how many times, man, me and my cousin was rocking his music back in the day. So, like, if he does come on the show, I'm gonna need at least 15 seconds to fanboy out real quick, and then I'll be cool. But so y'all can't hold that against me. That we need to hit the mute button and just let me fan out real quick, and then that's cool.
Nah, it's funny. It's like everybody that knows his music that's a part of the franchise has said the same thing. Like, and I'm like, you've seen him in Zoom meetings. You've been in our meetings with him, and it's like he's no different than anybody else. You know.
Oh, I know. He's a chill dude, and I'm not saying that. It's just this is TQ, who a young 10-year-old Kalani was singing. Bye bye, baby. I can't believe it. You know what I'm saying? A little 11-year-old was saying, "Damn for the West." I'm just saying, man. Like he cool, and I enjoy the fact that he know his shit. But hey, man, you know, so you gotta let me know.
There's a song on that album called "If I Ruled the World," and literally it starts off where he's like, "Jazzy Faye got me up in line at 112, all high and shit, got me fucked up." He asked me, "What if I ruled the world?" That is a true story. We were all in line at 112, waiting to get in our little VIP section. Jazzy Faye, us, a couple other people were there. He wasn't on Cash Money at the time, and it was literally like Jazzy. Literally, we had just left Magic City, as a matter of fact, and we did eat wings. As a matter of fact, yes, we did. Yeah. Look, I told you this, and I'll say it again.
Yeah, I know this.
When you first go to Magic City and someone asks you, "Hey, like what y'all want to give us some wings?" Man, you can eat at a fucking strip club, and the girls up there, they come and you got the girl dancing, and for the first wing or two, you're kind of like, after that second wing, you're like, this is this story right here.
Need you to leave. Yeah,
you need to go. I'm fucking with these wings right now. The best wings I ever had.
They had a place like that in Hawaii called 939, brother. Look, I know it's gonna sound they not wings. They had some of the best fucking fries I ever had, though. Fuck Hooters fries, fuck B-Dubs fries. They had some of the best. We literally will order fries and be at the table like you. Hey, that's cool. Give us about 10, 15 minutes. We about to fuck up these fries and we tear them up. So there are places, man, that whatever they do, the juices from the pole or whatever, they mix it to be good.
You reminded me. Thank you. Good segue. Good. Oh my God. So yeah, I mean, we're at when Jazzy Faye asked us at 112, and he ended up writing a song about it. Jazzy produced it. It was fucking hilarious because we did it like the next night. So there's a story that came out, and the story that came out was on a site called World News Daily Report. Now, this may or may not be true. I'm going to read you the story. A Las Vegas stripper potentially infected hundreds with COVID-19 from squirting vaginal fluid off stage, reports KCWQ in Las Vegas. Now, this isn't a true story, I don't believe, because I don't think there's a KCWQ in Las Vegas. Her name, the woman's name is Bunny LaGrande, and 18 clients of the Red Baron strip club have been hospitalized after a performance last Friday. LaGrande performs her squirting show 3 times a week, but it appears that she lost control that night and accidentally sprayed several clients. Quote, "She usually doesn't squirt it as far, but it drips down onto the stage. But this time it went up 30 feet in the air and hit a ceiling fan and covered the whole floor." This came from Zoe Pitts. That's what she told her. She's a patron. So another client added, quote, "It was coming out like a geyser. I had to take at least 3 showers to get rid of the stench and burn in my clothes so my wife wouldn't ask any questions."
Oh my God.
Go ahead.
No, one witness also reported that the vaginal fluid spread onto several clients' faces, eyes, and mouths, and possibly facilitating an infection. One person said, quote, "I was sitting in the front row and got a full blast of the squirt. Doctors said it went down my throat and directly into my lungs." They said at last count, 6 people were infected with potentially the coronavirus. and
another COVID-23.
No, take that back. Last week, a similar event occurred in the area after 6 clients were infected with the coronavirus when a stripper with diarrhea symptoms accidentally defecated onto several clients that were at the show.
What kind of place is this?
Fucked up part is I'm pretty sure they got places where if you pay enough, you can get that type of shit done to you.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's some nasty fetishes out there. In my line of work, man, I can say this. I don't know 100% if they all abide by the rules, but ain't no clubs open. So if this is at all happening, this is happening on the lowest or the low.
I don't think it's true. I'm gonna be honest. For a variety of reasons, it's not. But when I got the story, I seen it. Your boy Q tweeted it out, and he was like, "This is nasty." And I looked, and I said, "What the hell?" And I sent it to both of you guys. Like, read this shit. This is hilarious. And I sent it to Squeeze, and he was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. I mean, you got to be something like that. You got to be. It's like, wait, what? Because you know what? It's one of those stories where you say, "Man, this is fake," but then in the back of your mind, you thinking,
"This shit could be real."
Yeah, I can see this also. Now, if you would have told me this happened in, like, let's say, at a strip club in Florida,
100%.
This happened.
Florida, Houston, Atlanta, Mississippi,
Jersey,
100%. I would even say Arizona. 100%.
Arizona low key is one of those places where you like, hey man, you better make sure you tell somebody where you're going out here.
Exactly.
Jersey, you don't want to get caught up in Jersey. That's the armpit of America, man.
I think that's
I lived there though for like a year. I could say that shit.
I think it's Tulsa.
You been in Jersey, bro?
Yeah, I've been to Jersey. Hey, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan.
I get it, it's Oklahoma. But have you been to Jersey?
They call it the fucking Garden State. When you drive through the state, it's like landfill. It's like that Dave Chappelle skit: gun store, liquor store, gun store, liquor. Where the fuck are you taking me? That's Jersey.
But last thing for the night. Did you guys see what finally happened tonight with Megan Thee Stallion?
Who?
Megan Thee Stallion, the rapper.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, okay. Well, very famous. She had the song with Cardi B out called WAP, Wet Ass Pussy. And it's probably the hottest song for all these young thoughts in America right now.
Shaking ass.
Yeah, for some wet ass pussy. Yeah, like it's, yeah. So Tory Lanez shot her in the foot like a month and a half, 2 months ago. And nobody, like, she was not snitching on him at all because they were dating or whatever. Well, this publicist and them were just recently started hammering her, talking about she was hitting on him. And because Tory Lanez is like 5'1", I've seen him at One Oak more than one time. He's like a fucking Mighty Morphin midget.
Who's Tory Lanez?
He's a singer. He's a singer, R&B singer.
Oh man, don't get me on that shit. They try to say that one dude who got like 12 baby mamas on the one show. They try to say he a fucking singer. No goddamn singer, dude.
No. Tory Lanez has some hits. He's done a bunch of shit with Trey Songz. He has a couple albums that dropped. He had a song called "Say It" where he took the Brownstone song "Say It" and kind of did his own thing with it.
All right, cool.
So they got into some type of argument. She got out the car to walk there 5 minutes from her house, and he shot her in the foot. She got shot in one foot and had bullet fragments in the other. But she finally tonight got fed up and went on her IG live and literally confessed that he's the one that fucking shot her. Now, the dude is from Toronto originally. I believe he's from Canada or Toronto, but I know he's from Canada.
Yeah, he's from Toronto, and I think he got sent back, and they're not allowing him back in the country now.
The rumor is they're going to deport him, or they have deported him. He's not going to be allowed back in the country. And he may be facing attempted murder charges, even though he shot at her foot.
Well, it depending on what state it's in or country for this matter, it shouldn't be, man. If it's below the waist, it's not attempted murder.
It was in L.A.
That's what I'm saying. It's just depending on how that all works out and everything, and how his lawyers can finagle it. You know what I'm saying? But when you were saying that story, I don't know who these people are, but all I could think of, oh, now you're going to shoot me in my pinky toe.
California?
Do it. There it is.
California, you think about a damn gun, you're getting life in prison with their freaking laws.
Now that is true. I love my state, man, but they are batshit crazy with a lot of stuff that I do not agree with.
No, I don't agree with about any of their laws.
They literally
you like their marijuana laws though.
I don't know anything about that.
All right, maybe one. Maybe one law.
I'm just saying, man. Some things do work out.
But yeah, so it's just funny to me that like as a sports company, like and we have the entertainment side of it as well. Yeah. That you have like literally Megan Thee Stallion is like she's a part of these group of women like Sweetie, her, City Girls, Cardi B. Like those are like the 5 groups. I know you're like, oh, who the fuck are they? But they're like the this generation's Lil' Kim, Foxy Brown. They're like it's well, their.
If that was the case, I would know something about them because at least those girls knew how to rap. Like today, like no disrespect to them, man. I'm very much glad that they're doing something positive with their lives and helping their families with doing music and whatnot. But like today, it's more so, are you trending? You know what I'm saying? Is there something about you we can sell, even if you're not fucking good? We'll just auto-tune it. You know, like being famous today is not what it used to be back in the day. So that's why it's hard for me to keep up with them because it's like, yeah, that's not really talented because you got short hair with a fat ass. That's talent, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever. You know,
Megan,
or whatever.
A fun fact about Megan Thee Stallion is Carl Crawford's. She signed to Carl Crawford, the former Red Sox and Dodger and Tampa Bay Ray. She signed to his label. He's the one that found her. She's from Houston, so
man, but you got to think about it. Like if you're in that particular business, you're going to go after who you think could be like the next person to blow
absolutely
up. Good, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, unless I'm someone like a Jay-Z who were like, yeah, my stuff is good. I don't need to sign whoever. Hell, man, if I got into it, I'd go out there right now and I'll sign somebody. And I don't. Hey, come on. We'll make it something. We'll build your IG up. We'll get your Snapchat going. We'll get all that. So you know, all right, cool.
Yeah, it's just funny. It's just to me, it's just funny. Like between the strippers and now this, and it's it was a hell of a Thursday night.
Speaking of strippers, man, did y'all see that one movie, Hustlers?
No, not yet. My girl did though.
It's not a bad film, actually. It's not a bad film, but my gosh, at her age, Jennifer Lopez trained 2 months to do a 40-second pole dance scene. She trained 2 months for it because she wanted to be authentic. I got to tell you, boy, Alice Rodriguez, boy, you the lucky man, boy. That is a woman who has aged terrifically well, and I still spill kids today thinking about her.
She aged like fine wine.
Yeah.
Wait. You say spill kids?
Yeah, I still drop kids. I still drop kids because of her. What? What?
I ain't never heard that.
That's great.
I mean, technically, that's what I'm doing, right?
Oh. Well, they're gonna be owning the Mets soon, so.
Yeah.
Hey, that's cool. Hey, that's cool, man. No. Well, that's cool, man. I mean, they already got a whole bunch of people on there who can't speak English, so they'll fit right in. It'll be cool. Just kidding.
Oh God.
Shouldn't have said that. Hey, hold on, man. See, man, it's after 12. I done had some drink up in me. Come on, man. We can't be doing this, man. We can't be doing this no more.
This is FSM After Dark. I'm Joe Arrigo. That's Kalani Lua at KLua11 for all of your debates, and if you want to talk shit because he just said that the Mets are
a well-diverse team. I didn't say nothing wrong. They're a well-diverse team. That's all I said.
That's Rich Decristan at Richie Lupo 11 on Twitter. I'm Joe Arrigo. See you tomorrow night on FSM After Dark.